Good morning and welcome to the 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic here in Kenilworth, New Jersey. We are getting ready to get started with our lifting this morning. We will start with squat, move on to bench, and then deadlift for all of our lifters. Spotters and loaders are getting the bar set. We are waiting for everyone to be in position to bring out our first lifter, which is Jessica, and she will be squatting 80 kilos.
Check, check, check. Can we make a round of applause for the lifters this morning?
All right, here she comes. 176 pounds on the bar. Three white lights.
Good depth from Jessica there.
Yeah, it was good depth. It almost looked like she was a little anxious to step. She got to be patient, wait for that rack command after that squat. That's the easiest one for me to miss. Is that rack command.
Yeah, we're at a local meet, so a lot of times when you see those red lights pop up, it's usually the commands that they're missing. It's the first thing that newer lifters just really aren't used to. You're in the gym every day, you're lifting on your own command. Now you're waiting for the chief referee to give you the commands. At local meets, we see it all the time. You see the red card with the red light with the yellow card at the bottom, typically indicating a missed command, but great job by Jessica there.
All right, this is Antonia. She's coming out for 95 kilos, 209 pounds for her opening attempt squat.
And just like that, I think we've seen a missed command. I think she missed a squat command there.
Yeah. So there's two commands you have to listen for on squat. When the bar is loaded, head ref will say bar is loaded. That's indicating that the athlete can come out to the platform. Once you unrack the bar, walk it back into your squat position, you then have to wait for the head ref to say squat. You have to make sure those knees are locked, make sure everything is set, and then you may squat the bar. You must then hold the bar until you receive the rack command, indicating that you can bring the bar back in. The side spotters will help you back in. So a lot of times, new lifters, I tell them all the time, wait for the spotters and loaders to help you back in. Just stay still.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll just walk it right in for you. You don't even have to wait for that rack command.
Yeah.
You'll notice on the side, we have our side referee, Ryan, over the right side of your screen. He's going to have his hand up. And then once he drops his hand, that indicates to the chief referee that she may give the start command when she also agrees with him. There's also a side referee on the left side of the screen, just out of frame. But those two side referees have to put their hands down, indicating that the squat is ready to begin.
Yes, this is Sadie, taking 100 kilos, 220 pounds.
And two reds there for depth. So you'll see underneath our red lights down at the bottom left of your screen, there's also a little bar at the bottom of those. That indicates why the lift was a failure. So we see the red card underneath the red light. Red card on squat always indicates depth, so she did not squat low enough. The depth we're looking for is to get to the crease of your hip below the top of your knee joint. So she just cut it short there. All three referees were in agreement. No lift.
Squat was still really strong, so she most likely won't have a problem coming back out. Just needs to be confident with that depth.
Yeah, she decided to reload it, so it should be good.
Yeah. This is Karina, 105 kilos, 231 pounds.
Looks pretty easy. Let's see what the judges are saying.
Another no lift for depth. And yeah, I have to agree. From my angle, it looked like it was a tad bit high.
Yeah.
It's another thing at local meets we see a lot, that depth gets missed because you're told for so long that what you're looking for is parallel with your femurs, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're getting that hip crease, but beneath the top of the knee joint there.
It's a very easy mistake to make, especially at the first lift of the day, but also first meet.
It's an easy mistake to make, and it's a hard adjustment to make on the day.
Yes.
You're used to training that way your entire prep, and now all of a sudden you have to increase your range of motion.
This is Lynn, 115 kilos. This is 253 pounds. So Lynn has done a lot of competitions, very many competitions. So hopefully here she's very confident with the bar, squats it all the way down to depth, and we'll see a great squat here. Yeah.
And Lynn's got a pretty far walkout.
Yeah. 3 white lights. So a lot of times you will see lifters just take a step or two back. Lynn did take quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few and very big steps.
Yeah. 117.5 kilos loaded on the bar. 259 pounds.
260 pounds.
I'm absolutely loving the blue hair here.
Yeah, matching the knee sleeves.
Yeah. This is Jada Ann taking 259 pounds opening attempt squat. She's a Team 3 lifter, so between the ages of 18 and 19. And I believe this is her home gym.
Lifting on your home turf is always so much easier. You know, you're comfortable with the equipment in the back. You're comfortable with the crowd. It just feels like it's home. You know, there's nothing worse than traveling hours to get to a meet. You're stiff. You're kind of uncomfortable with the environment. As you see, Jada's squat is no good. Once again, called for depth, and you saw on our replay, yeah, quite a bit high.
I will say, sometimes these nerves on this opening attempt squat will just make you squat funky, which is very easy to then, if you're not in your normal groove, maybe your feet are a little off, everybody's watching, spotlights are on, you might miss that depth, come back on the second one and hit it easy. But we'll see. We've got quite a few people that need to hit depth.
It's always a good balance because being too nervous can mess you up, and then being too hyped up can mess you up.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to kill the weight, sometimes you cut depth just because you're trying to make it look fast, make it look easy.
Yeah. All right, here's Nicole, 127.5 kilos. This is 281 pounds.
Over twice her body weight for an opener.
Yeah, it's impressive. Look deep to me.
Yeah, that was a nice deep squat from Nicole. I know she's had issues with depth in the past, and it looks like she's taken that into training and really gotten used to dropping those squats down there. Good lift, 3 white lights.
Spotters and loaders keeping the bar at 127.5. Just making sure it's in the correct position here for Miss Eva. 281 pounds.
Maybe another squat. Yeah, there she got it down. Thought it might have been a little bit high, but all 3 judges in agreement. It is a good lift.
I think it's one of those squats that's right below parallel, right below that hip crease and knee joint line. So it's just barely good. We'll see what happens if she gets heavier. Sometimes as that bar gets heavier, it's harder to hit depth. So we'll see.
It's a little bit more tempting to cut it too.
Yes.
Make it a little bit easier.
Yes. This is Christina for her opening attempt squat at 145 kilos. We are now above 300 pounds at 319 pounds.
315 is usually a milestone lift for people. Oh, and we get our first replace command of the day. So we spoke about before, our side referees have to tell the chief referee when it's okay to give the start command. And her knees were not locked. She was out there for over 5 seconds with her knees unlocked. So she gets a replace command from the chief referee. Clock still runs, you see on the board behind you, 20 seconds to get the start command, and she gets it.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
2-to-1 call. It is a good lift. We are getting that replay on the side that got called on depth. So it looks like it's right at that line. She just needs to squat that hip a little bit lower, but 2-to-1 is a good lift.
That's right. And you're always taught as a referee, if it's a close call and you're unsure, if there's any bit of hesitation, you throw the white light.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to see those 2-to-1 calls, especially on depth where it's such a quick change in direction.
I will also say it's hard to get the replace command and then come immediately pick the bar back up
Yeah,
and try again.
100%.
As powerlifters, we don't train that way.
The hardest thing to do is walk out a squat because you're so unstable the entire time. You get it walked out, and now you all of a sudden you have a curveball thrown your way.
Yes. This is Jessica taking her second attempt squat. We've gone up 5 kilos from her opener to 85 kilos, 187 pounds.
Another easy squat by Jessica. That's a good lift by Jessica. So far,
Good
so
lift.
good.
She's got to be careful not to step a little bit too early.
I think we were both quiet for the
Yeah.
same reason. Waiting to see what happened there, but she was good. 3 white lights.
95 kilos.
We are retaking 95 kilos for Antonia.
Definitely think that's the right move after missing on depth. Or no, she missed on a command on the sides and then depth toward the front.
Yep. Commands can be an easy one to fix. You just have to be patient.
That's right. Anytime I see an opener miss, I feel like the best way to do it is just reload it.
Yes.
You don't want to go up and then now all of a sudden you're missing on strength when it was something else that could have just been repeated.
Yep. No problem on depth that time.
That was redemptive.
And she follows
Yeah.
the commands.
She said 3 wet lights. She's now in the lead.
Absolutely no question on
Yeah,
depth.
very deep squat.
Waited for everyone to help her back into the rack. That was a beautiful execution.
100 kilos.
100 kilos staying on the bar for Miss Sadie. Sadie did miss on depth on the first one.
Yeah,
So
once
look-
again, reloading it, making the right decision. Like we said earlier, changing your depth the day of a meet, so difficult. Used to training one way the entire way.
That looked better to me.
Yeah, it looked better. It's definitely still going to be a close call, but she does get the 3 white lights.
Yes. She does have a narrower stance, which sometimes makes it hard to hit depth or visually see depth.
That's right.
We were talking about balance earlier. It's also balance for squat foot position. Because if you're too narrow, it's hard to hit depth. If you're too wide, it's hard to hit depth. But sometimes those positions are just a stronger position.
That's right. All those adjustments should be made based off the lifter's proportions with their femur length, torso length.
Yeah. Here's Karina retaking 105, looking to hit depth. No problem on that one.
Yeah, she sunk that one. Great adjustment.
3 wet lights. She's now in the lead.
She gets it on the board.
We did see a change in squat speed from her first to her second attempt because she did have to hit depth.
That's
So
right.
Depth took a little bit extra strength for her to hit. It didn't seem to be a problem, but just something to look out for. Again, Jada Ann is also looking to retake her opener and hit depth this time. 117.5 kilos.
Ours looking for our next lifter. Here comes Jada Parker with 107.5 kilos.
Let's go, Jada. Just another day in the gym for her. 117.5.
Right, like you mentioned before, lifting on her home turf, and she gets the depth down there. That looks unquestionable. 3 white
Yeah.
lights.
All right. So far, everybody in this plate has gotten at least 1 squat attempt.
Yeah, that's the perfect depth that you're looking for right there.
Yeah.
100% below the top of the knee joint, but not so far down that it's going to throw you out of position.
All right, we now have every single one of our lifters in this first flight of lifters with a good squat on the board. No one is in territory of bombing out, which is a great thing. This is Miss Lynn. She's up to the bar to 122.5 kilos, 270 pounds. Three white lights?
And a nice, easy second attempt from Lynn after taking a 7.5 kilo jump. You got to think she's got another 7.5 in her.
Yeah. She's very happy with that one.
Yeah, it was very smooth. No sticking point at all. Looked very routine.
Yep. We're getting ready to bring out Nicole, adding 2.5 more kilos to the bar, so taking us all the way to 130 kilos.
Very conservative jump from Nicole. Thought that opener moved pretty good.
Yeah, I got 3 whites. Typically, you're going to look to see 7.5 kilo jumps on squat. So it's taking a 2.5. It's a pretty small jump. Maybe she's just looking to get every kilo she can.
Yeah, and being a lightweight lifter, sometimes those bigger jumps can affect you a little bit more.
Yeah. I think I remember hearing that she changed her opener after she put it in. So wondering if she's feeling all right this morning. Looked to be a good call to take 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 kilos might have been the right call. I would expect to see another 2.5 kilo jump.
Yep. So 2.5 kilos is the smallest increment that you can take in a local powerlifting competition.
Right. Once we get to states, nationals, regionals, you could start doing those 0.5 jumps only in the event that you're attempting an American record or a world record.
Yes. So very far, few and far between that you get to take those nice small jumps. But this is Eva, 137.5 kilos, 303 pounds. Looking to solidify 300 pounds on the platform.
Yeah, 10 kilo jump, 22 pounds from her opener.
Yeah. Looks strong. 3 white lights?
She really rides that line of depth,
Yeah, she does.
but she's definitely hitting it. And that's exactly what you want from your athlete as a coach, where you're not dropping it down too deep where you're taking kilos off the bar because you're losing strength there by increasing your range of motion. It's a very technical squat. That's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, it's a beautiful squat. Christina is coming out for 152.5 kilos. 336 pounds.
Remember, she caught a depth call on her left side on her opener, so that's definitely something to watch out for here. That actually looked deeper than her opener.
Yeah. I think her right hip looked higher that time.
Yeah, three white lights. Getting a 2-to-1 call on depth is always tough as a lifter when you get the lift on the board because you don't know if you should adjust for that second or not. You don't want to start overanalyzing things and switching things when they don't need to be switched. It could have been just the referee didn't see it right, or, you know, I can live with 2-to-1s all day and just go 9 for 9.
Yep. It's not uncommon for lifters to have one hip that's a little bit higher than the other.
Right.
So if you're getting 2-to-1 and you know you have one hip that's a little bit higher on your squat, don't change anything.
Right. That all comes with experience, too.
Yes. All right, we are headed into our third attempt squats for Flight A. This is 92.5 kilos, 203 pounds for Miss Jessica.
Yeah, 7.5 kilo jump from her second, and just a tad too much.
It was moving so fast, and then all of a sudden, brakes came on.
Looked like she got shifted into her heels a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got shifted back, and once that weight starts traveling backwards, it gets off of your center of mass. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Miss Sadie is coming out for 105 kilos. Opted to go up only 5 kilos from that opening attempt made on our second attempt.
Right, had the issues with the depth on the opener, but corrected it on the second and got 3 white lights.
Talked about that nice narrow stance that she has. She also is a high bar squatter.
And 3 reds for depth.
Yeah.
Fortunately for her, she gets a second on the board, so she still is in the meet. Because if you don't get a registered attempt in for each individual lift, your total goes as 0, more commonly known as bombing out, not finishing a meet, disqualification.
Yeah.
But
She was
she's all
successful
good.
with 100 kilos, though. So she is in the meet. All right, here comes Antonia. 105 kilos. So she's gone up 10 kilos from her opening attempt. I'm always curious, when lifters miss on their first, retake on their second, do you go up to your planned third or do you go up to your planned second? Or do you find a happy place in between?
Yeah, it's always a judgment call. I always feel like the best way to do it is base it off of how that second moves.
Yes.
You don't want to think of it as where do I want to finish? It's what do I have on the day? And if you look at that second and think I have another 10 kilos, that's the way to do it. You don't want to get too overzealous and now you're missing out of kilos on your total.
That was a beautiful, beautiful squat from Antonia. Here comes Miss Karina, 112.5 kilos, 248 pounds. She's another Adelante Barbell Club lifter, lifting on home turf here. And you can hear it. The crowd is all behind her on this third attempt.
It's another advantage about lifting in your home gym is that people are more likely going to come out to watch you. She grinds through that squat there.
Yeah. I've lifted on home turf one time, and it was one of the most fun meets I've ever had.
Yeah, for some lifters, they get that extra boost of having people in the crowd for them.
Yeah. All right, Jada Ann taking the bar to 125 kilos, 275 pounds. Missed depth on the first, retook, made it on her second. Trying to add 7.5 kilos to her squat here.
275 pounds.
We've seen a lot of good jumps, a lot of smart jumps, and a lot of smart calls from our coaches. Anyone who missed depth, all reloaded. And then we haven't seen anybody get too really overzealous. We saw the miss on strength on the opener for on the third attempt for Jessica. But that was still a close call. Everybody's making the right calls today. And we see another, just missed on depth.
Let's watch it here. It looks like that hip crease made it to the top of her knees. Did not break that parallel surface.
Yeah, very close call, but I do believe it's the right call from the referees.
Yeah. It's always a tough call to make as a referee.
Yeah, it happens so quick, especially for those lifters that drop down so quickly like she does.
Yeah. Here's Ms. Lynn looking to add another 5 kilos to her squat, taking her to 127.5 kilos, 281 pounds. She had a beautiful second attempt. Oh!
I think she surprised herself with that one.
It's always fun to watch the lifter's face.
Yeah,
Shocked
she might have
herself
had
with
another
how
5
easy it
kilos.
was. Yeah. All right, now Miss Nicole has opted to go up 7.5 kilos to 303 pounds here. She took a very small jump for her first to a second. Second was sticky.
Yeah, the second move tough. This is an interesting call. I wonder if they saw something that we didn't, or something just happened on that second that made it move harder than.
The other thing is maybe she came out with the sole intention of squatting 303 pounds on the platform.
Yeah, it's hard not to get married to numbers like that.
Yeah, especially 300. That's a big number.
Yeah.
Especially from a 56-kilo lifter.
Right. See if it works out for her. It's a aggressive call, risky call.
Ooh!
Wow.
3 white lights.
Wow. Yeah, you got to think something happened on that second that threw her off, because that honestly moved better than her second. And after taking a 7.5 kilo jump, that really shouldn't happen, where that third moves better than the second. But
yeah.
For sure, grinds through it. 303 pounds. Wow.
Paid off in her favor. I will say, I think the second one she squatted deeper. So maybe she did just lose some tension at the bottom.
Yeah.
Knew how to fix it and was ready to execute. Paid off, though. 303 pounds on the platform for Miss Eva. Sorry, Miss Eva is taking 145 kilos, 319 pounds.
She got 300 on the second, and now she's going for 319. 315 is usually that milestone number that we spoke about earlier.
This is just a little bit above that. Good catch from the spotters and loaders.
Yeah,
good effort from Eva.
Started to fall forward, and that's always the hardest squats to catch, because the back spotter has to dip forward a little bit more. He gets out of position. The side spotters get out of position, and once it starts going forward, it falls so fast. So great catch by the spotters.
Yep. It is a rule in powerlifting that you are not allowed to dump the bar, meaning if you are failing a lift, you must stay with the bar. It's much easier for the spotters and loaders to catch an athlete and a bar instead of just a falling bar.
It gets dangerous when you start dropping 300 pounds.
Yeah. This is Miss Christina, 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds for her third attempt squat. Beautiful grind.
Great fight, and she lets out a little smile. She knows that's a good lift.
Great third attempt from her. Had a little bit of an issue with the first one on depth, that one side, and I never saw it again.
Yeah.
We are getting ready to start our second flight of lifters. So we are moving and grooving right through this competition so far. Samantha is up. The spotters and loaders are getting the bar loaded to 62.5 kilos, 137 pounds.
This flight, we'll see all the women from the weight classes 82.5 kilos and above. So 82.5, 90, 100, and 100 plus.
Bars loaded for Samantha. This is her opening squat of 62.5 kilos.
At a Globo gym, so at a normal gym where you are lifting on pound plates, Samantha is opening with a 45-pound plate on either side.
No knee sleeves.
Oh, good call.
So in the squat, you're allowed to belt, knee sleeves, and wrist wraps, and then any type of approved squat shoe.
Very easy opening attempt by Samantha.
She opts to go without the knee sleeves. It works out for her well.
3 white lights. If I could only pick one piece of equipment for a squat, it would definitely be knee sleeves
Really, over a belt.
over a belt.
I know Travis agrees. Travis always does the beltless squats.
Yep. I like a belt, don't get me wrong, but if I only get one, I'm taking knee sleeves.
And we've seen such an improvement in the equipment over the last 5 to 10 years. You know, when I first got into the sport back in 2018, the SBD sleeve was the gold standard. It was the #1 sleeve you could get. Now you have A7 making stiff sleeves, as we see Daniela has here. You had the Inzer stiff sleeves. Every company makes a stiff sleeve now.
All right, Danielle is taking 112.5 kilos. This is 248 pounds. She also walks really far out.
She got a blue card on her right side. Blue card usually means an up and down or a soft knee. Didn't see any up and down movement, so it's probably a soft knee. So let's watch her
you
right
can
knee
see it
here.
a little.
Yeah, she comes unlocked at the top.
It almost looks like it was just bouncing at the top, so her legs are kind of absorbing. It should be a pretty easy fix, though.
Takes a bit for that bar to settle sometimes
Yeah.
when you squat so powerfully.
All right, bar is loaded for Miss Mia. She is taking 120 kilos, 264 pounds. Beautiful squat. 3 white legs. These opening attempt squats are looking exactly how they should. Very fast, very easy breezy. No problems. That's exactly what we want to see on these opening attempt squats.
Yeah, the typical rule of thumb is that you want it to be an RP7 on your worst day, is what you want your opening squat to be. This way you 100% know you're going to get it on the board. And you typically meet day after a taper and how you handle your training from the past month, you should feel the best. But in the case where you don't feel good, you should be able to hit this weight.
Yeah.
Or in case you miss depth, you can sink it down a little bit deeper.
All right, Miss Clarissa is out taking 120 kilos as well. This is 264 pounds. Clarissa is also an Adelante Barbell Club lifter, so we've got a lot of home turf lifters today. Makes for an easy training day when you can do stuff that's sleep in your own bed, eat your own food, show up at your own gym.
One thing we got going on here, her socks are touching her knee sleeves, which may be corrected by the referees from her second attempt. So you need a gap in between the knee sleeves, the singlet, and the knee sleeves and the socks. And here you see clearly her knee sleeves touching the socks here.
Yeah. So refs won't call that as a red lift on the first attempt. They will let her know if she does not fix it, it can be a red.
Yeah, for sure. They're not going to disqualify your lift right away. And as we see another rule change here, or another rule implemented here by John DeLassio, our state chair, working technical controller, the only thing that can be adjusted on the platform is your belt. So you see she tries to adjust her wrist wraps as she's walking out on the platform. You can't do that. It has to be done behind our stage here. Reason for that is everything has to be checked to make sure it's within the standards. The belt really can be worn anywhere on your abdominal area. So it doesn't really have to be checked by the technical controller, but your wrist wraps can only come up a certain amount.
Yep. Here's Kat, 125 kilos, 275 pounds. Three white lights. That fixing of equipment can also kind of get in your head too. If you're used to having your wrist wraps super tight right as you get under the bar,
that's right.
Having to have them super tight before you walk out sometimes can be difficult. Your hands can start to tingle as you're squatting because your wrist wraps are so tight. All right, here's Kyla, 130 kilos, taking 286 pounds on her opening attempt squat. She also has her socks touching her knee sleeves, so I'm sure she'll get a little warning after the squat.
It's interesting to see that from two lifters.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke about the knee sleeves earlier, all the different types of knee sleeves. You'll see a lot of lifters, as you may see a missed command here, two missed commands, and possibly depth as well.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of lifters really try to squeeze themselves into these knee sleeves that are 3 sizes too small to get the extra compression there.
Yeah, it looked like we had a lot going on that one. We had the knee sleeves and socks touching. She didn't listen for commands, and I do believe she missed depth as well. So hopefully they are able to give her a quick little rundown before she goes back out for her second attempt so she knows exactly what to do when she gets on the platform.
Yeah, not totally uncommon to see at local meets. Those little things that you're just not used to. You know, You're in the gym. You're not waiting for somebody to tell you when to squat. You squat on your own command. You're not having somebody constantly check your depth.
Yeah.
Those are the adjustments that you can make in training that could turn you into a good lifter, turn you from a good lifter into a great lifter.
Yes.
Taking commands, especially on bench when you have that press command.
Yeah. 145 kilos, 319 pounds.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any question on depth there.
Super deep squat. Santara is coming out for 152.5 kilos, 336 pounds. This is our final squat for this flight of lifters. I love when a lifter has a whole kit that matches. So this whole SBD kit.
Yeah, aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. 336 pounds, opening attempt.
Ooh, might have missed the rack command there.
Beautiful squat, but we have to be patient for that bar. We have to wait for that rack command. I hope she retakes that.
Yeah, I definitely think the right move is to reload it. It was a little bit tough, a little bit sticky for an opener.
Yeah.
And missing a command, you do not want to get aggressive here. And then now all of a sudden you're dealing with missing on strength. We'll see what she decides to do here. It's like we spoke about earlier in Flight A. You get married to numbers, and sometimes you just want to shoot for that either 300-pound squat or 400-pound squat. But sometimes you got to change up the game plan to just stay in the meet.
Yep. All right, Samantha's coming out. Second attempt squat, 75 kilos. So she has taken a hefty jump here, 62.5 to 75. That is a 12.5 kilo jump. Post no threat for her, though.
Yeah, very smooth, very technical.
Yeah.
Gets it on the board once again.
If I was her, I'd be happy with that squat. She left a lot of room for that third attempt. Good amount of energy left. Daniela is going to be coming out for 122.5 kilos.
A 10-kilo jump from her opener. Her opener flew and kind of caused that soft knee issue at the top as the bar started to settle. So maybe aggressive is the right call here to slow down the squat.
Yeah. You don't have that very often. Especially on a squat, it's hard to be like, oh, all she needs is more weight on the bar.
Right.
270-pound second attempt squat from Daniela.
Looked like her knee might have been a little bit soft at the top that time. And I feel like our referees hesitated a bit to give her that start command.
But 3 white lights. You can kind of see there they are a little unlocked, and then right as she starts to squat, she does lock them. But they are flirting that line.
Oh, yeah.
Going up to 127.5 kilos, 281 pounds. And that'll bring out Clarissa. Did get a 2-to-1 call on her opener. So got to make sure we are hitting depth here. Repeat what we did.
And there we go. That's what we were calling out earlier. Great job by our chief referee, Aaliyah.
Yep.
Telling her she's got to take the socks down from her knee sleeves. Very heads-up call from our chief referee.
Now this is... Sorry, go ahead.
This is another thing that's going to affect her here because that clock stays running.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Because bar is loaded and this is an athlete issue,
And
the timer does not get reset.
Here
yeah.
Because you can't adjust it on the platform. She's still got 15 seconds. There we go.
But all she's got to do is get the start command.
5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. She might have just beat it. Wow.
3 white lights. Down to the wire. She could not have taken any more time.
Yeah, she earned that celebration.
Yeah.
That adrenaline rush, watching that clock drip down as she's got to take the socks down. We spoke about how tight those knee sleeves will get.
Yes.
So they're pride underneath there.
I have had that call one time where I had my knee sleeves still on during bench, but they were down around my ankles, and they said they either have to be on or off.
Yeah. It's one of
And
those
it's
things
stressful.
you'll forget about. Yeah. Or you see a lifter come out without deadlift socks.
Yeah. This is Mia, 130 kilos. A beautiful second attempt squat.
Very aggressive squat and a high bar squat. Usually when you see that, that's an athlete that came from a different sport that was training for, whether it was volleyball, basketball, or they're squatting in the gym all the time, and now they get really strong and they transition over to powerlifting. Powerlifting is one of those sports where you see a lot of former athletes from beforehand, and usually you're only taught to do a high bar back squat.
Especially that aggressively, that powerful.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, this is Kat coming out, 137.5. We are over 300 pounds now, so Kat will be crossing into 300 pounds, a 303-pound second attempt.
$12.5 kilo jump, but a very smooth second attempt for
Yeah.
Kat.
I think we could see another pretty aggressive jump here. That looked really good. Kyla coming out for 137.5 kilos. She is our first lifter to miss their first attempt and opt to go up anyway.
And this worries me a little bit because she did miss on depth very, very high too. And she missed the commands as we see Aaliyah refreshing her.
Yeah. She did move her socks, so she did get that memo. So all she's got to do here is execute the squat.
It's a very risky call. This worries me a bit.
Yeah. Hopefully it pays off, though. Let's see. 137.5 kilos, 303 pounds. Those knees look a little soft to me. Let's see what the refs have to say.
And she still has a third attempt. You see she got called for depth on her left side, so that depth is still an issue as we see a strength issue as well after moving up.
I hope she opts to just retake that 137.5. There is a rule in powerlifting that once you have an attempt, you are not allowed to lower that attempt. So she cannot go back down to retake that opening attempt at 130. She has to take the elected second attempt at 137.5.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons it's so risky to go up.
Yeah. All right, Sade coming out, 155 kilos.
Very smooth squat attempt.
10 kilos up from her opener, but it actually seemed to move the exact same speed. Another lifter missed her first attempt and is opting to go up anyway.
Yeah, she missed that rack command. But that opener moved very convincingly. Still a risky move, but when it's usually just a command, it's an easy mistake to fix.
160 kilos, 352 pounds. She looks locked in. Fight it, fight it, fight it.
And she stepped just before the rack command once again. And that was a tough attempt. She really had to fight that one out.
Yeah.
You have no choice but to reload it at this point. Very strong lifter, but just needs a little bit better execution.
Gotta be patient and wait for that command. It keeps everyone safe. That's the biggest thing. It's indicating that the lifter and the spotters and loaders that the lift is over. She can bring it back to the rack. All right, we are starting third attempt squats. Miss Samantha has opted to go up to 82.5 kilos, 181 pounds.
Yeah, both her opener and her second moved very smoothly.
Yeah.
Wow. She looked like she could have done a set of 3 with that.
Yeah.
Oh, but she just gets called for depth from the front and the side.
Let's watch that replay here. I was looking at the side. I did see it's right at that line.
Yeah, kind of hard to see with our spotter's arm in the way.
Yeah.
But it is very close.
Another part of not having knee sleeves is it's so clear and easy to see that knee joint.
That's right.
You can see that top surface of the knee so easily with nothing in the way. But that was a very good effort from her. All right, Clarissa is coming out. Opted to only go up 2.5 kilos. I think this is the right call here. So this is 130 kilos, 286 pounds. Let's hope she's got those socks in the right place. She does.
Yeah, she had that hectic second attempt, and that's another thing that challenges coaches when you have something like that happen and now the second attempt moves very tough. Yeah. Is it a strength issue, or is it the issue that she had to adjust her socks the whole time? But nonetheless, they decided to go 2.5 kilos. Very conservative jump. Probably the right call. Just build the total.
Yeah. As a lifter, too, it can also be hard because you have all that adrenaline on your second that usually you have for your third.
That's right.
That hopefully we didn't lose too much of that adrenaline and we're able to find some here. 130 kilos. Oh!
Look easier than her second attempt. Let's see what the judges have to say. 2-1
good lift.
Yeah, that moved better than her second for sure. So you have to think the socks kind of affected her, which you would expect in a situation like that.
Absolutely. It also is hard because maybe her feet weren't in the exact right position because she knew she just had to walk that bar out and plant her feet to be able to get that start command. Yeah. All right, Daniela is coming out, 132.5 kilos. We are going to 292 pounds. This is a 10-kilo jump from her second to her third. Typically on squat, you're going to see the larger jump from the first to the second and a little bit smaller second to third. Hers is the same, 10 kilos, 10 kilos. Beautiful. Two to one, good lift.
Yeah, she got called for depth from the front, which you usually don't see that being the sole red light coming from the front is depth.
Yeah, I was interested that it was a red card. I almost expected it to be a missed command.
Yeah, maybe
it looked like she tilted the bar a little early, but
maybe she pressed the wrong button.
Yeah,
I thought the same thing.
All right, Kyla. 137.5 kilos, 303 pounds. She needs this to stay in the meet.
Yeah, so like we spoke about earlier, you need a successful attempt in each of the squat, bench, and deadlift. She's 0 for 2 on the squat right now, so this is important. Without this lift, she cannot register a total. She still may complete the lifts, the bench, and the deadlift while she's here, but it will not count towards a total. See if she could turn it around, hit depth, follow commands.
Yeah, it's hard when you've got two things that you're working to fix here. She did struggle with strength on the second attempt, going up to 137.5. She did miss commands on both attempts as well. We did see her wait for command on that one.
And unfortunately cannot get it done.
Yeah.
And, you know, we see it at plenty of meets. It's such a heartbreaking thing to happen, but there's plenty of lifters who've been through it, plenty of great lifters who've been through it. You know, one of the lifters that we regard as one of the greatest ever, Taylor Atwood, bombed out at the Arnold's one year.
Yep.
And, you know, he didn't let that define his career, still became a multi-time world champion after that. So this doesn't end her story.
Yeah. I like to say a meet like this, especially at a local meet, use it as a learning grounds. Try something new, do something different, and learn, right? So for Kyla, she's learned a lot, hopefully, from those 3 different attempts, missing on different things, having different things she's had to fix day of. Now she can take it back to the gym and execute better.
She has experience with commands now.
Yep.
She has experience with what meet depth looks like and how to call an opener.
Yep. All right, this is Mia going up 10 kilos to 140 kilos, 308 pounds. Absolutely beautiful. 3 white lights. It almost looked like it surprised her a little bit, too.
Yeah, she's a pretty strong lifter. I wonder if she's new to the sport.
Yeah.
And like I said, she looks like she came from a different athletic background. Be interested to see how her career turns out as she matures into the sport a little bit longer.
Yeah, because she's definitely strong. She's got a lot of power in those legs. This is Kat, 145 kilos, 319 pounds. Up 7.5 kilos from her second. They're looking to hit 145 kilos. Beautiful.
Yeah, very smooth.
Honestly, the speed of a second attempt, that was beautiful from Kat.
Very smooth, very technical the whole way.
We are faced with another dilemma here. Santera coming up for 160 kilos.
Yeah, she missed the command on her first and second, and that second moved very tough. Let's see if she has another grind in her.
I wish she had a coach in her corner here to yell at her weight at the top. She's strong. She's got the strength for it. She showed us on the second. It is going to be heavy. She does know how to execute it. She does know how to push through a heavy squat. We just have to wait at the top.
Yeah, sometimes grinding twice can be very tough, so let's see if she can create a little bit, one more special moment.
Got that start command.
Just get stuck in the hole there.
Yeah. It almost looked like she's a squatter that at her home gym maybe does that little bit of a bounce at the bottom, because it did almost look executed. But in powerlifting, in the sport of powerlifting, you are not allowed to have a bounce, any up and down movement, anything like that. So the spotters and loaders were correct to grab it from her.
Yeah, as soon as you start that concentric portion, the ascent of the squat, you cannot dip back down and go back up.
Yeah. All right.
And that's true for all 3 of our lifts.
Correct. This is Naseed, 170 kilos. This is a gigantic jump from her second to her third.
Yeah,
second did move well.
15 kilos, 33 pounds from her second. Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Also, another young lifter that in the sport that has so much potential.
Yeah, coach definitely saw something there on the second that gave her the liberty to jump 15 kilos.
Yeah.
She looks like she maybe had another 2.5 or 5 in her.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we are coming up on our third flight here. So we are entering into the men's division. And this is John. He is opting to open with 125 kilos, 275 pounds.
Team 2 lifter.
Also lifting no knee sleeves.
Yeah, and some massive quads on him.
Yes, he does. Hope he didn't move those feet early. 2-to-1 good lift. He did get a depth call on that right side, left side. All right, Eli's coming out 130 kilos, 286 pounds. He's a Team 3 lifter, lifting between the ages of 18 and 19. Almost looked like he was waiting for an unrack command there.
Yeah, he definitely was, and you know it's better than missing a command.
Yes.
You see that pretty often. People waiting for an unrack command. They do that on squat and bench, and like sometimes you'll see at local meets people waiting for a start command on deadlift.
Yes. Once you get that bar is loaded, you can go up and grab the bar.
The only one you don't want to see is when they assume that there's a up command in squat and they start pausing at the bottom, because that will definitely fry your squat.
Yes. All right, this is Maddox, Team 2 lifter between the ages of 16 and 17. A very tall 16 or 17-year-old.
Yeah, that makes it very tough for that squat.
Yeah, 132.5 kilos, 292 pounds.
Oh, man.
Took it to the basement.
That might be the biggest range of motion we'll see all day.
Yes.
He might be 6'5" and dropping all the way down.
Yes. I'm glad we have some tall spotters and loaders out here.
Yeah.
As someone who's done spotting and loading for a men's session, it can sometimes be a little tricky when you're short.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin is coming out 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds. He is getting himself all chalked up. Oh, just kidding. Here he comes. He's looking at the next lifter. Gavin is between the ages of 18 and 19. Opening his squat with 347 pounds. Gavin is our first pretty wide squatter that we've seen. Looks
Gets
like
a
he
little
lost
out
it
of
just a little
position
bit.
there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is a no lift. Let's watch it here. You can kind of see his hips shift a little bit at the bottom. And once those hips shoot out from under you, it can be really hard to recover, especially in that wide foot position.
Yeah, it's one of the risks of going so wide. Sometimes going wider will cut down your range of motion, but it's just not worth getting out of position.
Yeah. A lot like the difference between a conventional and a sumo deadlift. Sumo might be easier, but it is much more technical.
Yeah, one thing goes wrong in a sumo deadlift and it's over.
Yeah. All right, here's John taking 160 kilos, 352 pounds.
Easy execution by John.
Very easy, very smooth. Just how you want your opener to look.
Getting the bar loaded to 175 kilos, 385 pounds from Michael.
Bar is loaded for our next lifter, Michael.
A lot of tall lifters in this flight.
75 kilos.
All of them pretty young, too.
85 pounds.
Michael is also a teen lifter. He is between the ages of 18 and 19. 385 pounds.
A little
Do
bit
have
of
a
soft
problem.
knees
Yep.
here.
Let's get the judges what to say.
Yeah.
So we get calls for depth and the soft knees. So yeah,
can
you
see
see
it
the knees
here.
are not locked there.
Also needs to sink it probably like an inch and a half, 2 inches. It was not right on the line, but it was not egregiously high.
Yeah, I think the right move here is to reload
Yes,
that.
100%. You've got two things that you're looking to fight, the soft knees and the depth. Reload it, get confident, hit the squat. All right, here's Jose, 210 kilos, 463 pounds.
Jose's been in this sport for a while. He's been doing this since he was 15 years old.
Woo! I was going to say, he looks very well executed, well practiced.
Yeah, a lot of those things come with experience, and you see him smoke that opener.
3 white lights. His knees almost look a little shaky at the top.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
This is a very short flight, so we are actually back around to second attempts already.
Yeah, 7 lifters in this flight. It was going to be 8, and we had 1 no-show. So that's going to be a quick turnaround for these lifters. That can affect how you make your calls. If you're used to getting 10-minute rest in the gym, and now all of a sudden you're at a very short flight, you're getting 5 to 6 minutes, might want to shave some weight off of those attempts.
John took 132.5 kilos. Looked like he moved his feet a little soon, but let's see what the refs have to say.
Yeah, I saw what you saw there. I think that was a little bit early on the
2 to 1. Good lift.
1 though, yeah. Did get a call for depth on his right side.
Not what I saw.
No, definitely not.
All right. We should be getting Maddox out next. Looks like we're having a little glitch in the system here. We will be adding a 2.5 kilos to the bar, taking us to 135 kilos. It's the beauty of technology.
Yeah, it's great until it isn't.
Yep.
It's nice. It gives our spotters and loaders a little bit of break, a little bit of water break.
Yes. Spotting and loading is a thankless job. It is very hard, very tiring.
Yeah, you don't realize you're loading thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds total volume throughout the day.
Yes.
Sweating, back hurts. Sometimes the lifters fail to lift so quick and it just pulls you into that
Yes.
one position and your back cramps up.
And we do have a 2-session meet today. So not only is it 3 flights this session, it is also 3 flights later today. So these spotters and loaders have a long day ahead of them.
To give you guys some clarity on the hold up here, we do have maybe something wrong with the Wi-Fi on the lifting cast. You see the lifting cast hasn't updated. We still have John's ticker at the bottom of the screen.
There
and
it
now
goes.
we're back on to Maddox. Without lifting cast running properly, the meet cannot go on. We need it for the timer, the lights, but we're all squared away and we're ready for Maddox to come up.
It also helps the TC knows who's up next, keeps everybody in check. Make sure we've got the right lifter on the platform at all times. This is Maddox taking 135 kilos.
Very conservative jump. I thought his opener moved pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if Maddox wants to load it up on his 3rd attempt.
Yeah, looked good. I will say sometimes with newer lifters, it does make sense to take a little bit smaller of jumps. But he's got some energy left in the tank there. He's definitely got some strength.
Yeah, he's got more than 2.5
Yes.
kilos in him.
Yes. Loading the bar to 142.5 kilos, 314 pounds for Eli. 12.5 kilo jump from his first to his second. Two to 1, good lift.
Yeah, that magic number 315 that everybody always shoots for.
Yep.
Gets it on the board, joins the club.
On a second attempt. So he still has one more attempt to show us what he's really got in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin missed his first attempt, retaking it on his second. Looks like he missed it on attempts or on commands. So this should be a pretty easy fix here. Just got to be patient, execute the squat again, and then be patient again. 347 pounds. That's right. Gavin is that nice wide squatter. I hope he keeps that center of mass right in between those feet this time. Push with those legs up. Ugh.
You gotta wonder where that wide stance comes from, whether he, a lot of times football players are taught to squat wide onto a box. Maybe that's where he gets it from. Or even if he trained with equipped lifters in the past, you see that a lot because they're sinking into that suit using the knee wraps. A lot of times an equipped style squat doesn't work with the raw lifters. So if he trains at a gym where they're old school equipped guys, this might be where he's getting it from.
Yeah. That's not a common squat position, especially as a young lifter.
Yeah, definitely not.
All right, this is John, 170 kilos, 374 pounds for his second attempt squat. 10 kilos up from his first. A little bit of work, but not too hard. 2-to-1, good lift. I'm interested to know what that head ref saw. They did not throw a card that time.
You saw coach checking in with the head referee too.
Yeah. I'm glad the coach went over and asked because I'm not sure what it came from. And it's not a mistake you want to make twice. Michael, opting to go up 2.5 kilos, trying to get a little more out of the tank, even though he missed that first.
His knees were really soft on that opener, but he only got 1 blue card, 3 reds for depth.
Yeah.
So if he can get the knees locked. And he's definitely going to get a replace command there. Oh, and he took that as the squat command.
I do think his left knee is more bent than his right knee. I have a view from that left side. Yeah. Did squat it to depth that time, though.
Yeah, depth looked good, but he still got the soft knees, and he basically missed the command because he got a replace command, but thought that was his squat command.
225 kilos per second.
That can be hard because the arm movement is not the same, but if all you're looking for is arm movement,
right,
it can be easy to mess up there. All right, here's Jose. 225 kilos, 496 pounds. This is a 15-kilo jump from his first to the second.
Yeah, just walking that line of 500 pounds, 496.
Very confident squat. See what he has left, though.
There's a bit of work. I think the right call would be go to 2.5 and secure that 500-pound squat for sure.
I agree. You also saw there that once we cross that 500-pound barrier, we do have 5 spotters and loaders on the platform now. And for a lot of our guy lifters, it's like a rite of passage to get that number 4 and 5 spotter out there.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when all the referees are scrambling to find those extra guys.
I was at a local meet one time with all women spotting and loading, and my squat got spotter 4 and 5.
Nice.
And I think it is the coolest moment of my powerlifting career. 137 kilos on the bar, 303 pounds for John.
Yeah, he got shifted towards his heels and fell back a little bit, and once that happens, it's very hard to recover from. Great catch from our spotters and loaders.
It's almost like his torso went up and the bar didn't. Right there as he's shifted back.
Yeah.
That can be a hard catch. Still successful with his second attempt. 2 for 3 on squat is not a bad day. Maddox coming out 142.5 kilos.
Yeah, decided to load it up a little bit.
Only a little bit, though. 7.5 kilos.
Yeah, you got to let him loose. That second attempt moved way too easy. There it is. Still easy.
Yeah, definitely more work, but definitely more strength in the tank.
So far, so good.
I call that 315.
Oh, yeah. There's some chalk on the bar.
Yeah,
That goes from
yeah.
314 to 315.
Eli coming out for 152.5 kilos, 336 pounds. So went up 12.5 kilos from first to second, and then 10 kilos from second to third. Did get a depth call on one side for that second attempt. But if I'm him and I'm his coach, I'm telling him don't change anything. Complete the squat the exact same that you did on the second. Don't go searching for it.
Ooh, looks like
Yeah.
he cut depth a little bit more, and that kind of folded him over.
Yes.
You're not getting that stretch reflex that you usually get by totally getting down there.
All right. We need Gavin to get this. He has missed his first and his second. Looking to hit it on his third. 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds. I hope he can find that extra gear here. Let's go, Gavin. He's fighting.
Wow.
I don't know where that strength came from. I hope he held it long enough.
Yeah, he might have missed that rack command.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Gets called for the command and depth. But what a fight.
Oh, what a hard call there. Good effort from him. All right, here comes Michael. Also in the same position. Needing this lift to stay in the meet. Opted to go up an additional 2.5 kilos.
Yeah, it's risky.
So we are now at 180 kilos.
Need to get those knees locked.
396 pounds. The strength is there for sure. 2-1, no lift. Let's watch that replay here.
Yeah, so he gets called on depth here.
Those knees are still looking a little questionable to me.
It's a close call on depth, too.
Yeah. All right, here is John, 182.5 kilos. This is taking us over 400 pounds now, so we are at 402 pounds. Gone up 12.5 kilos to hit this 400-pound squat. Just too much on the day. Little overzealous, trying to get that 400 pounds. All right, Jose, going up 5 kilos.
Yeah, he's walking that line. That second was very tough, but he's going a little bit above 500 here. 227.5 would have been 501. Decides to go 230 for 507. His best squat in the meet before today was 220 kilos, so hit a 5 kilo PR on his second.
Looking for 10. That's a big squat PR. 230 kilos for Jose.
And again, you see those 4th and 5th spotters getting out there on the platform for him.
Yeah. Heaviest squat of the day. Jose's third attempt squat, 507 pounds. Oh, he's grinding. He found it.
Wow, what a fight from Jose.
2-1. Good
Gets
lift.
it on the board.
So watch his squat after he stands it up. Beautiful grind here. And he gets the top. He just waits. Spotters and loaders put him in. He doesn't even move his feet.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. That comes with experience and
Yes.
knowing what to do. You don't want to ever get called for missing a command.
Especially that rack command, because they will put you back in.
Oh, yeah.
What a wonderful squat. We had a few missed lifts, a lot of lessons learned, a few great squats completed. And we will see you guys back in about 10 minutes for the bench press. Welcome back to the 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic in Kenilworth, New Jersey. We have successfully finished our squats for session 1 and are now on to the bench press. So quick overview of the rules. Again, the athlete will get bars loaded. That is when the athlete is allowed to enter the platform. Again, they are not able to fix any equipment except for the bed. Sorry, the belt. And then once they are in position, they can get a handoff if they'd like from our handoff person. It cannot be one of their coaches, friends. It has to be one of our event staff. Get into position, butt down, feet down, everything like that. They will get the start command. They are able to lower the bar to their chest. The moment the bar is motionless is when they will get the press command. Then they must hold the bar until they get the rack command. So there is 3 commands on the bench press that the athlete must listen for. So it can sometimes get a little confusing. It can sometimes get a little bit hard to execute if you are not used to listening to those commands.
Yeah, one of the more difficult lifts to execute from a lifter's perspective, and one of the more difficult lifts to judge from our ref's perspective. Plenty of things to pay attention here.
Yes. This is Jessica. She is opening with 42.5 kilos. A little bit sticky.
Yeah, you wonder if she's going to get an up and down call there.
Yeah.
3 blues.
Let's watch that replay. So she did get blue cards, so showing that the bar went up and down.
Yeah, there you go.
So you saw that little baby dip there.
Once you start the concentric portion of the lift, or the ascent of the lift, you cannot dip back down. It's true for all 3 of our lifts, our squat, bench, and deadlift. Gets 3 blues there.
All right, Jade is coming out for 52.5 kilos. This is 115 pounds.
See a lot of lifters utilize a very high arch position to shorten that range of motion, make it a little bit easier for them.
Totally legal in USAPL. You can have as big of an arch as your body can handle, but your butt must maintain contact throughout the entire portion of the lift, just like Ms. Jada showed us. So this is Miss Eva. She will be coming out for 55 kilos, 121 pounds. Beautiful bench press.
Yeah, nice and smooth, very easy opener. One thing about the bench press is you see a lot of different setup techniques.
Yeah.
See people do a bottom-up setup or a top-down setup. You know, the bottom-up starts with the feet, and then you work your way up. Advantages behind that is your feet are in the same position every time. There's no variability there. The top-down approach, usually you'll see the lifters set up their shoulders and put their feet on the bench and then slide them down. A lot of times that can give you a little bit better arch because you're walking your feet back.
But also can be a lot of variability with that because your feet are not in the same position every
Exactly.
time. This is Karina, 57.5 kilos, 126 pounds. So you saw a beautiful executed bench press there.
Karina's got quite a few fans in the crowd today. She couldn't even hear the rack command.
Yeah.
Everybody was screaming for her.
She got a very fast press command, so if you were paying attention, that press command seemed a little faster than the others. That's because the moment the bar touched her chest, it was motionless. So there is not an amount of time that the lifter is looking to hold the bar, that the head ref is having to wait before they call press. It is just the moment it is motionless.
Right, that's a common misconception. People think it has to be paused for just a second. No, as soon as it's motionless, you're good, and that's a great quality to have as a lifter to get that bar steady on the chest.
57.5 kilos for Miss Antonia, if I could say it correct. 3 white lights. It's very common as a new lifter to have a difficult time getting that bar to be motionless. So I'm sure a couple of these lifters here today will probably show us kind of that bobble on the chest and we'll point it out when we see it. So you can see the difference between a motionless bar and a little bit bobbly of a bar. This is Ms. Lynn coming out for 67.5 kilos. 148 pounds. So she is opening with just a little bit above body weight here.
So see here, you see that top-down approach on bench. Sets up the shoulders, puts the feet on the bench, and then slides them down.
Got that start command. Very pretty bench. Now, typically with the bench press, you will see super small jumps across the board, 2.5, 5 kilos. Every now and then you might see more, but I expect to kind of see that as our typical jumps today. Sadie coming out for 70 kilos, 154 pounds. In a normal training session, this would look like reds on the bar, but in competition we do have 2.5 kilo competition collars, making the bar look a little bit different. So a blue, a black, and a collar equates to a red at the gym. This is a big lift for a lot of benchers looking to get that red plate bench.
And I believe she missed the press command there.
Oh, three white lights.
I'm just
Maybe we
seeing
just didn't
things.
hear it. Yeah. Glad she heard it. She didn't get it. You could see it in that from that angle. Just barely if you were looking beyond the spotter and loader there. All right, we've got Nicole coming out for 75 kilos.
It's a huge bench opener.
Yes. 165 pounds. So she has a 75 kilo bench press opener as a 56 kilo junior lifter. So I'll say that's about 20 kilos, 44 pounds above body weight.
It's incredible.
Yes.
See Nicole have a very wide grip. The widest you can go on the bar here is you see those little rings on the bar? They just have to be covered with your finger. So if you're outside of that ring and it's uncovered, they're going to tell you to replace the bar and you have to bring them in. But still within there for Nicole. Gets the lift on the board.
A very fast lift at that. Here's Christina. 102.5 kilos on the bar for her opener. We are above 200 pounds. We are at 226 pounds, which is, again, a huge bench press.
Yeah, this is a huge milestone for a lot of lifters trying to get that 225 bench. You know, usually on pound plates, that's the 2 plates there.
Beautiful arch from Christina.
Little tough off the chest for her.
She looked a little unhappy with some part of that, so I'm not sure what. But hopefully that means the next execution will be a little bit better. As a high archer myself, a slow lift on an opener does not mean that she doesn't have the strength to go up. Execution is everything here. So she could have been a little bit off on one side. One shoulder could have been a little bit different. Sometimes it's as much as the handoff was a little bit funky on one side. All of that can change how hard a lift looks.
Yeah, she has a very low rack height for having long arms, and she was set up pretty far away from the bench.
Yeah.
Maybe that had something to do with it. The lift off kind of got thrown off.
Here's Jessica retaking 42.5 kilos. Much better execution. Let's see. So we did skip the rack command there. She got a little happy when she got to the top, immediately put the bar back and did not wait. We also saw there that her butt came up off the bench. So I think there was a lot of things going on there. Much faster, though.
Yeah, it looked good in terms of execution until you got to that rack command.
Yeah.
You did mention the butt came off the pad, but I think that's going to be easily fixable with how good it moved. Right move is to just reload that and keep it pushing.
Yep. All right, Ms. Jada is coming out for 57.5 kilos, 126 pounds. Gone up our 5 kilos from our first to our second. Ooh, good fight. Unfortunately, a little bit heavy. On bench, we talked about up-down. We did not talk about how the bar can lock out uneven. So you can have one side that is a little bit stronger, pushes out a little faster. Second arm, as long as the bar does not travel back down, it can lock out uneven. You can have left arm and then right arm. Does not matter.
Yes, and that's something you'll commonly see with lifters who might have had a past pec injury, past shoulder injury, where they come up and they lock just a little bit uneven. But like you said, as long as it doesn't go up and down, they're all good.
Yeah. Miss Eva also taking a 5-kilo jump to her second attempt. 60 kilos, 132 pounds.
A little unstable at the top there.
I think it was a smooth press.
Yeah, I think she had her butt come up a little bit. I thought I saw a little bit of pop there. So we take a look at the replay. Usually 2 yellows from the side referees. Yep, you see a little bit of daylight.
Did not see the up down, which is good, but we did see that butt come up. So one of the things, we talked about that bar being a little bit unsteady at the top. That can be a downside to getting a handoff, is it is not somebody that you are used to. Maybe they give you a little bit of a heavy lift off. Their hands aren't fully released by the time they step back. So it can help. It can also be a little bit not a great thing if you're not expecting it.
Yeah, you see Corinna here opting to not have a lift off
here.
That's a good skill to get used to as a lifter. This way there's no variability in what happens in a meet.
It does take more energy and more effort to do a self handoff, but it is much more consistent.
For sure.
3 white lights. Good lift for Corinna.
As a coach, you always want to tell your lifter, be as descriptive as possible when going up to that designated spotter and loader who's going to give you that lift off.
Yeah. All right, bar is loaded for Antoya. 62.5 kilos, 137 pounds. Giving a lift off is also a very hard skill, especially to all of these lifters that might, some of them like a heavy handoff, some of them like a light handoff. Beautiful bench press.
Yeah, everybody likes it differently, and then you'll have a lifter that comes up to you, and you've given 30 lift-offs throughout the day, and they're like, oh, do it exactly the same as last time. And you might look at them and be like, I feel like I've never seen you in my life. I have no idea how I gave you that last hand.
Yep.
So you always want to be as descriptive as possible to the spotter and loader each time that you go up.
Yes. Because you say just like last time, and they might give you a really heavy handoff when last time was actually a really light handoff. Right. Maybe confusing you with the lifter before or the lifter after. So there's a lot going on. Here's Sadie, 72.5 kilos, 159 pounds. Oh, good grind, good grind. Wow. Beautiful bench. 2-1. Good lift.
She's got a yellow from the side. I wonder if that's the butt coming off a little bit. See a little bit of lift there, but I don't see much daylight through it. That probably means the one referee saw and the one didn't.
There was also a chance that her feet moved.
Okay.
So I think what I saw was them kind of shifting in her shoe. I didn't see any shoe movement. But
2-1, good lift.
Yes. And we also only have the angle that you guys have. So I'm not able to see it from the ref's angle. They might have seen it a little bit different. This is Lynn, 72.5 kilos, 159 pounds. Beautiful bench. 3 white lights. She has a heavier touch, so that bar does go into her chest a little bit more than what you've seen from some other lifters. Completely legal, completely fine.
Yeah, you can sink it. It just can't sink back into the chest after you get the press command. That would be a heaving call.
Correct. So that bar must sink to its maximal sink position before you get that press command. 77.5 kilos for Nicole. This is 170 pounds. I think she made the right call opting to go up 2.5 kilos. It was pretty smooth, but she does have 3 full attempts. 5 kilos might not sound like a lot, through the course of 3 attempts, but it can definitely be.
Yeah, especially for those lighter weight lifters.
Yeah. Be interested to see what the call here is. You saw her kind of flash those elbows straight after she got the start command. 3 white lights. So those elbows do need to be locked before receiving that start command.
Yeah, I see what you're looking at there.
But they did finish locked, so. All right, Christina is coming out for 107.5 kilos. This is our final second attempt of this first flight of lifters. She is taking 237 pounds. Opted to go up 5 kilos.
I think her rack height was too low on her opener. Yeah, unfortunately, no lift there. It looks like she's a little bit unstable coming off the rack. She's slid very far back on the bench towards the back of the platform, and she's coming from way far behind her.
Yeah.
Might just throw her off just a little bit.
It also is really hard to give a handoff when the bar has to move such a long distance.
Right.
All right, Jessica needs this lift to stay in the meet. She has 45 kilos loaded on the bar. First one she missed going up and down. Second one we missed by a little bit of, we missed our command. Opted to go up 2.5 kilos anyway. Looking to make it here, 45 kilos, 99 pounds. At 2-1.
And see the butt come off the pad
Yeah.
there, and unfortunately she cannot get it on the board. Got aggressive with the call and decided to go up.
Yeah. You commonly do see that butt lift only called from your 2 side judges. You can't see it from the head.
Yeah, it's
Very
almost
hard to see,
impossible.
yeah. It has to be really egregious.
I've never called a butt lift from the
Yeah.
chief referee position.
57.5 kilos loaded for Jada. Missed it on her second. Looking to find that extra little bit of strength here on her third. 126 pounds. She's got a great self-unrack there. It's very controlled. She's fighting. Oh.
That's a great fight.
effort,
Great way to stay
yeah.
with it. Unfortunately, cannot get it on the board, but she does have a squat and a bench on, so she's still in the meet.
All right, Miss Eva retaking that second attempt at 60 kilos. 132 pounds, 60 kilos for his third attempt bench. Looked smooth to me. 2-1, good lift.
Yeah, get to the yellow card from the one side, so maybe seeing the butt lift up again or some sort of movement in the feet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
movement there. Nonetheless, 2-1's good lift.
The higher your arch, the higher you're trying to make your arch and you're driving backwards towards your shoulders, the harder it gets to keep your butt down, especially when you start to press. Those legs push a little bit extra, that butt pops up just a little bit.
Like we said, the bench is the hardest lift to judge from the referees. You have to look at the butt, you have to look at the elbows, you have to look at the feet, you have to look to see there's no heaving.
Bar path.
You're trying to look at 5 different things at once.
Yeah. And also listen to the head ref.
Right.
Unfortunately, that was a no lift. Did miss it on strength. Antoya up next. Going up an additional 5 kilos to 67.5 kilos. 148 pounds. We've seen a lot of lifters so far this session opting to bench in lifting shoes, which is not entirely normal. Good effort from her.
Yeah, sometimes if you struggle keeping those heels down, the heeled squat shoe can help out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not totally common. Sometimes you lift that heel off the ground the way that they do, the butt tends to pop up a little bit more. A lot of people usually opt to do a deadlift shoe or some sort of flat-soled shoe like a pair of Vans or Converse.
Just like
we see
Sadie.
here, yeah.
75 kilos loaded on the bar, 165 pounds. Two and a half kilos up from her second. Oh. Good effort from Sadie.
Yeah, only taking a 2.5 kilo jump there, so she didn't really lose out on anything.
She got the most she could out of the day.
Exactly.
Third attempt bench is the most commonly missed lift across all of powerlifting. Because of that right there. 2.5 kilos can feel like a lot on a lift. Ms. Lynn is coming out for 77.5 kilos, 170 pounds. She also has a nice flat shoe. Ooh. Just too heavy.
Spotters and loaders are lifting the bar right out of their hands. It's the second time we saw that.
Yep. Yeah, that is not the athlete not staying with the bar. That is the spotters and loaders being so strong.
They're just too strong.
All right, Nicole coming out 80 kilos on the bar, 176 pounds.
Yeah, opting to go another 2.5 kilos.
Smart move.
For sure.
Looking to get every kilo she can out of the bench press. Remember, Nicole's our 56 kilo lifter, and she is attempting 80 kilos. Ugh.
Just a little bit too much, but like we said, taking a 2.5 kilo jump, she got everything she could out of the day.
Yeah. It was a valiant effort, too. It got pretty far.
We're seeing a whole lot of red for the, the third attempts on bench. Only one successful third attempt bench so far.
Christina's here to change that. 107.5 kilos. 237 pounds.
Mr. Second on strength, but like we said, there might have been some issue with the rack height, some lift-off. She seemed like she was unstable on her opener, and then that continued into her second. So let's see if she can get this right here.
Again, has that bar traveled so far out from the rack?
Just cannot get it off the chest.
Unfortunately, that is a no lift. She was successful with her first attempt, so she does get to stay in the meet. But yeah, there was a lot of missed thirds on that opening flight.
Yeah, to your point, like you said, most commonly missed attempt in all of powerlifting.
I wouldn't say it's usually that common,
Yeah.
but it happens.
Yeah, we were 1 for 9.
Yeah. All right, we are starting our Flight B lifters. This is our second flight of women lifters. This is Clarissa coming out, 52.5 kilos. Starting off this flight with 115 pounds. The bar will not go back down. So every lift from here on out will be above 115 pounds, which is pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. Remember, Clarissa had the greatest lock-in of all time on her second attempt squat when she had to pull down her socks. Just getting the squat command right before the timer ran out.
Very easy.
It was a pretty quick press command there, and I think it actually threw her off a little bit. She took a couple, maybe like a second and a half before actually pressing up.
Up in the bar to 62.5 kilos, 137 pounds for Samantha. Samantha has such a close grip on the bar. Three white lights. This is a good lift. All right, we've got Kyla coming out, 62.5 kilos as well. Kyla had a little bit of a rough squat session. She had a lot to learn, a lot of mishaps, but we are still here. We are still benching. So she is looking to get her first successful lift of the day on this bench press.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't get one on the board for squats, but like we said, even though her total gets registered as 0, she can still finish the meet. None of this will count for records purposes, but she can still get the experience on the board.
Yes. Another lift offers us so much more to learn. Looks good to me. 3 white lights.
Yeah, and as a newer lifter, if you can leave the day with some experience and some notes to take home, that's a win within itself.
Yeah.
Powerlifting is a very complicated sport. There's people who compete for years that don't even know the rules. You know, I took my ref test a couple years into the sport, and I was still kind of like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. You know, you're studying for it, and there's so many rules so many intricate rules that you don't even know about.
Yeah. This is Mia, 65 kilos, 143 pounds. Mia went 3 for 3 on the squat, going up 10 kilos on each attempt, which is a pretty impressive feat. I think we could go up 10 kilos on the bench press.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Three lifters in a row attempting 65 kilos. It's going to be a quick turnaround for each of these.
Daniela coming out, 65 kilos, 143 pounds.
So one thing you see Daniela messing around with her hair there. There used to be a rule that you would have to wear your hair up if you have long hair like she does, but since they got rid of the head rule on the bench, it's no longer a rule anymore. Used to have your head remain in contact with the bench the entire time.
Beautiful.
Very close call on the rack command there. Very close call, and it looks like only our side referee caught that.
I have been given a gift before just like that, where you kind of anticipate the rack command or the press command versus waiting to hear it.
You rack it as soon as you're getting the rack command, and you know
Dangerous
it might not go, and you're anxiously waiting for the lights to pop up.
She got a very fast press command. So we'll watch it here again. Watch how quickly the bar becomes motionless as soon as it touches her chest. There's no movement in that bar.
Yeah, stops on a dime. That's such a good quality to have as a lifter.
Yes. The faster you get that press command, the less energy you have to waste, the more strength you have for the press. All right, this is Kat coming out for 67.5 kilos, 148 pounds. Kat was able to go 3 for 3 on squat, finishing out her day with 145 kilos.
This is a nice, easy opener for Kat there.
Yeah, not much to note. Beautiful attempt. All right, Santara is coming out 70 kilos for her opening attempt, 154 pounds. Hope we learned our lesson on squat that we have to listen for commands here, be patient and execute well to get that lift. £154.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit of an up and down movement there. So like we spoke about before on the squat and earlier in the flight A for bench, once that bar starts going up, it cannot dip back down. That's where you see the blue cards come out there. Definitely want to reload that.
Yes. You did see that uneven lockout as well that we talked about. So if that right side had not dipped back down, even though it was uneven, it still would have been a good lift. We are back to the top of the order. We are bringing out Clarissa, 57.5 kilos. Looking to take 126 pounds. One thing Clarissa is not short on is energy. She always brings energy to the platform. So you see here, Clarissa has blocks under her feet. It's totally legal, just something you have to ask for.
Yeah, remember, your feet have to remain flat on the floor, heels flat on the floor, and some lifters who might have shorter legs, it becomes a little bit more difficult, so they do allow them to have blocks.
Doesn't change the rules at all, though. He'll still have to maintain contact with the floor throughout the entirety of the lift. All right, Kyla is up 143 pounds, 65 kilos. Still made the smart decision to go up 2.5 kilos from her first to her second. First was a little bit sticky, but it was successful. Still looking to repeat that here. Sometimes you can't use the way that the speed of the bar to know how hard a lifter is working. Some lifters just lift a little bit slower. So let's see what Kyla's got here.
Three white lights. I thought I saw a bit of a heave there coming off the chest. So the heaving rule is it can't go back into the chest after you get the press command. I definitely think I saw one there, but that's usually the more common missed call from the referees because, like we said, they're looking for the butt popping off the pad, looking to see if the heels are flat. And it happens so quickly and ever so slightly that a lot of times the referees miss it.
Yeah. We are looking for Santara. Here she comes, 70 kilos on the bar, 154 pounds. Looking for that nice smooth press all the way to the top. She was successful with the press last time, but we did have a little bit of that up-down movement. So seeing if we can make that nice and smooth this time. There it is.
And she's on the board.
3 white lights.
Yeah, much better execution there. Very smooth on the way up. No dipping of the bar at all.
All right, 72.5 kilos on the bar, 159 pounds.
A little bit more work there, but she got it locked out. And there's that uneven lockout that you spoke about earlier, but that is a good lift. Can lock out unevenly, just can't go up and down.
Yeah. Offered a little bit of resistance, but she's strong enough to overcome anyway. All right, Kat is coming out 75 kilos on the bar, 165 pounds. Pretty big jump here. 7.5 kilos.
Yeah, 7.5 kilos on the bench is no joke.
So there was that head lift that we were talking about earlier. Totally illegal now, but it's not something you see a whole lot.
Yeah, not from raw lifters as much. Equipped lifters for sure, but raw lifters typically don't lift their head off the bench. They don't get much out of what someone would get out of a bench shirt. 10-kilo jump here from Daniela.
That first one was pretty easy, though. Let's see, 75 kilos on the bar, 165 pounds. But 10 kilos is a big jump. You're risking a lot here on the bench press.
I don't think she took a lift off on her opener, but she's going to opt for a lift off here.
Interesting. Wanted that little bit of assistance to try to save that energy. Paid off.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it threw her off at all. 3 white lights, she gets it on the board.
With that nice long hair, one thing you do run the risk of with it not being tied up is having a spotter and loader step on it.
That's why I noticed she didn't get a lift off on her opener, and she did the second time. Yeah, we've seen that happen before where it's laying right there on the foot pads, and it's a nightmare. Nothing I had to deal with, but yeah, it's a nightmare.
Samantha, 75 kilos on the bar, 165 pounds.
And she didn't lower the bar all the way to her chest initially. That's why she got that long press command. And typically that would be a red card on bench, which is so uncommon to see that they don't lower it to their chest. But she eventually did get it down and got the press command.
Yeah, that is why it looked like it took a long time for her to get the press command, simply because we were waiting for the bar to touch her chest.
Bars loaded for Maya, 77.5 kilos, 170.
Interesting for that to happen on a second attempt, too.
I think her first one was a little funky, too, but it was faster. It, like, almost stopped right above and then lowered down.
Okay.
Versus the stopping and holding above like she did on that one. This is Maya, 77.5 kilos, 170 pounds. I apologize for saying your name wrong.
Wow.
That was a 12.5 kilo jump that moves that fast.
Yeah, she might have another 12.5 kilos on her.
Yeah. We are on to our final attempt bench presses for Flight B of the 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic. 60 kilos on the bar will bring out Clarissa, 132 pounds.
That's not Clarissa.
So one thing that can happen if you're not paying attention to the lifting cast is the order of the lifters can change because the bar can only go up. So if somebody that was before you takes a larger jump than you, you might have to do that switch. I think Clarissa was first last time though, so. I think Kyla just got excited. 60 kilos on the bar. Clarissa is out for her third attempt. Beautiful bench press.
And we talked about the experience on Clarissa. She's 6 for 6 so far.
Yeah.
That's something you see with these lifters as they get in. They know what calls they need to make. They know how to execute. Perfect day so far. Let's see if she can keep that going through the deadlifts.
Bar's getting loaded up for Kyla.
Bar is loaded for our next lifter.
67.5 kilos. Another 2.5 kilo jump. 148 pounds. Looking to take a little bit of momentum into the deadlift. Making sure that bar is set. Was a little shaky on that unrack. A little heavy on the day. I think that unrack probably threw her off a little bit. But we were successful with 2 of our 3 attempts on the bench press. Finishing out her day with 65 kilos. Bar is loaded, 77.5 kilos.
Another lifter who's perfect on the day so far, 5 for 5. I think a 5 kilo jump after going 7.5 from 1 to 2.
See what we got here, 170 pounds.
Ooh, something was off there.
Uh-oh. It's a little bit of an...
Yeah, let's get a replay on that. I think... Huh.
So
it wasn't the rack that got messed up. The rack got messed up from her messing up the press.
Yes.
So they're going to reconvene with the chief referee here because ultimately it's the chief referee's call whether to give a relift or not.
Correct. If it was an athlete's misgroove, should not be qualified as a relift.
And it looks like our state chair, John, is going
Yes.
to get involved here. Category 2 referee. He knows the rule book like the back of his hand.
If it was an equipment malfunction of sorts, then it will qualify as a relift. But if it is a relift, it will not happen until the end of the flight. So this lifter will have a chance to go back, reset, mentally log back in, and prepare for that relift if it is granted.
Ryan, what happened? She's just like, I think she got stuck somewhere and the bench got jacked up, so she's getting a retake. She's getting a relift?
Okay, so it
I believe
is
so.
pretty confirmed that she'll likely get a relift here. But like I said, it won't be until the end of the flight.
Yeah, we just confirmed with the referee. She is going to get a relift. Like we alluded to, she'll get it at the end of the flight, and there will be no time added because she is far enough out.
Correct.
To where she will get adequate rest.
Unfortunately, things like this do happen in the sport of powerlifting. It's got to be something that you are prepared for the unexpected. The lifter is safe. She said she's fine. There's no injuries, so she will be able to just retake it. So in the meantime, while they are making sure the rack is in the correct position, not exactly sure what happened. It seemed to be working just fine until it wasn't. But we've got USAPL Raw Nationals coming up in just a few short weeks. That is in Lombard, right outside of Chicago. So make sure you are staying tuned.
Yeah, the qualifications to get to nationals, you cannot get it at a local meet like we are at right now, but this
Correct.
is great to get the good experience in before you go to a state level meet or a regional level meet to get your qualifying total. All the qualifying totals go by weight class and age division.
Yeah, nationals is not an easy thing to get to. So the lifters that we see competing in 9 days at Raw Nationals have worked very hard to get there.
Yeah, and year after year, those qualifying totals have been going up. See a lot more qualified lifters driving that total up.
It's a pretty fun competition to watch, though. If you're new in the sport, if you don't know anything about the sport, because there is a lot of very strong, very well-versed lifters competing. A spotting and loading crew that is well-tuned, refs that are all well-experienced. You don't just get there by taking one ref test and that's it. You have to prove that you are national level worthy and ref a certain amount of competitions to be able to ref. So it is a very fun competition. It is a long competition. It is not just one day. So we have lots of lifters from all over the nation competing. So because we were granting that relift, I think it's caused a little glitch in the system for lifting cast, because we should be loading the bar up to 80 kilos for Kat. Yeah, not exactly sure what's happening right here, because I think it is showing that she's doing her retake now, but that is not accurate. So we are going to get it all fixed up here for you guys and for our lifters to be able to keep the show moving.
It's interesting to see how lifters can rebound after
Yes.
having to take this long of a break.
I was just about to say, this is a hard position for Kat to be in, because Kat was expecting, to take her last bench press
Yeah,
5 minutes ago.
Been an extra 5 minutes
Yeah.
on top of what was probably already a good 6 to 8 minute break.
Yeah, hard to keep that adrenaline pushing right now.
And she's been back there, and I've witnessed her rewrap her wrists a couple times already. That could throw you off a bit. Let's see if she can lock in for this third attempt, and we're finally loaded back and going up and ready.
Lifting cast is back up. We are ready to go. 80 kilos on the bar for Kat. £176. Oh, yeah. Beautiful execution from Kat. It's exactly what we want to see after a nice long wait. A lot of anticipation for that lift for Kat. Keeping the bar at 80 kilos. Santara is coming out. She's opted to go up 10 kilos.
Such an aggressive jump.
Yeah. See what she's made of. 176 pounds on the bar.
We've seen her get aggressive early on the squat. Yeah, and that just looked a little uneven from the beginning.
Yeah. This is hard because there's clearly so much strength. I think it's a lot of learning how to move the bar. I'd be interested to know how long she's been powerlifting, because there's clearly a lot of strength. There's a lot of power in both her squat and her bench. She's got to learn how to harness it. Daniela is out 82.5 kilos, 181 pounds. Again, a pretty large jump. So she took 10 kilos from her first to her second, taking 7.5 from second to her third. But if I remember correctly, that second was pretty easy. Seven and a half kilos can sneak up fast, though. Let's see what Daniela's got. She's fighting.
That's a nice fight from Daniela.
Got that dog.
Got one yellow from the side. Looks like that could have been a call for the buck coming off the pad, but like we said, 2-1. lift is good.
That's a tough call. It looked like her butt was going up and down, but I never saw it leave the bench. But the refs have a better view than I do, so we always default to them. 82.5 kilos staying on the bar, bringing out Samantha. Also taking a 7.5 kilo jump. Self handoff.
Ooh, and maybe an early grab from our spotters and
I
loaders.
agree with that. An athlete is allowed to fight. I didn't see the bar go back down.
Yeah, that looks like it was an early grab. If she wants to ask for a relift, I believe she can. And I think our chief referee would agree with that, judged by her reaction. I don't see her speaking to the scorers table at all, so I think she's just going to be satisfied with that one there.
Yeah. It's a hard call as a spotter and loader as to when to grab the bar when an athlete is fighting.
Right, they have to walk that line so closely because they're dealing with hundreds of pounds all day.
Yeah.
If you wait too long, then the weight just gets crushed on their chest.
Yeah. It's also a hard place to be as an athlete in that situation because she might not know that she can go over and ask for a relift for an early take from a spotter and loader.
Or she might not think she can have another grind like that.
True. This is Maya, 90 kilos.
Yeah, when you're faced with lifts like this where all of a sudden the failure happens so quickly and it's dropping so quickly.
Yeah.
They have to catch that. That's why you see those early grabs sometimes.
Yeah. It's really hard when that bar comes down so fast. The foot comes up. The athlete is not attempting to help with the bar. And that bar is falling. And it's a hard place to be. So glad the athlete is safe. Glad spotters and loaders were able to grab that bar. Sade, 77.5 kilos. This is her retake.
Unfortunately, cannot get it on the board.
Yeah. You saw there that she did shake her head, indicating to the spotters and loaders that she didn't have it in her. It is a good thing to do if you can. You can't always do it if you're grinding, because it just saves that little bit of time where the spotters and loaders might not jump in until that bar is coming back down. So it's just saving you a little bit of energy. All right, we are moving on. We are on flight C, bench press 1 for session 1. And we are bringing out Maddox, 55 kilos on the bar, 121 pounds.
Maddox might have the tallest rack height they've ever seen in this gym.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know actually what it is because that is so high. Bench rack height of 14. That is a very tall rack height. Anyway, that bench press was so very fast.
Yeah, I feel like it's an open book, like what you can do here. Like everything's open. I wouldn't be surprised him taking a 15-kilo jump.
Eli is up 80 kilos on the bar, 176 pounds. So if you are following along on Lifting Cast, Maddox has opted for a smaller jump. Ooh. I think I saw a little bit of a heave on Eli.
I agree.
3 white lights?
Yeah, we spoke about it before. It's one of the harder parts of the lift to judge, but that definitely goes back into the chest before he presses off.
Yeah.
237 pounds. Bar is loaded for Gavin.
All right. Gavin is up, looking to have his first successful attempt of the day at 107.5 kilos, 237 pounds. Had a rough start on squat. So hoping to be able to fix that execution and start some momentum for the day here.
And this just seems to be an attempt selection issue.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke about it earlier, how you go about choosing your openers. I said you want to be RP7 on a bad day, or RP8 on a bad day, something that you can hit for 3 reps on your worst day. And here we see Gavin once again, you know, failing on strength on his opener. Hopefully he can reload it and hit it somehow, but just a little bit too heavy, a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, there's lots of lessons learned here for him. Main one being, we want that opener to be easy. You don't want it to be something you have to think about. You want it to just fly.
Your
so
opener essentially works as a final warm-up.
Yes. All right, here's John, 115 kilos, 253 pounds. A little bit grindy, a little bit bouncy on the chest, but smooth. So 3 weight lights. Probably looking at a little bit smaller of a jump, but we'll see. Today has seemed to surprise me, so. 125 kilos on the bar for John. This is 275 pounds. He had a nice slow descent.
I was going to say the same thing. Very controlled.
Yeah. Not a bad thing. Just a lot different than a lot of the other lifters we've seen so far. Also probably means that most of his attempts are going to be pretty smooth but slow. You probably won't be able to tell how much he has left. All right, here's Jose. As you can see here, he's telling the spotter, the handoff guy, exactly where he wants the bar position. He's like, I want it right above my chest, kind of right at that line between the white and the blue. So put the bar in the correct position to execute this bench. 130 kilos, 286 pounds. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Jose opting for no wrist wraps there. Typically you see people use the wrist wraps on the bench, stabilizing the wrist joint, smallest joint in the entire movement. The more stability you have, typically the more force output you can have.
Yeah. All right, this is Michael. This is our final opening bench press of the day. 132.5 kilos, 292 pounds. Opting for a self lift off, no wrist wraps. A little bit heavy, but 3 white lights. We are starting second attempts on bench press for this Flight C Session 1. Spotters and loaders are loading the bar to 62.5 kilos to 137 pounds.
Maddox opting for a 7.5 kilo jump after a very easy opener. Surprising, but we saw him do it on the squat too, where he took 2.5 from 1 to 2 and then ended up going 7.5 from 2 to 3. See if he opts for a similar strategy here.
Not a bad strategy if you're a first-time lifter, which I don't know that he is. But it gets you all that experience on the board. Well, it looks to me like his heels are up. 2 to 1, good lift. It's kind of hard to see from this angle just because of the colors. But his heels are up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like the referee, side referee saw exactly what you saw as well, throwing the yellow, but does get 2 white lights and gets the lift on the board.
Up in the bar at 85 kilos to bring out Eli, 187 pounds. A little bit bouncy on the chest. 3 white lights. Head ref is such a hard position to call from because you have to watch for all of those things that we've talked about, but you also have to be the one to decide when the bar is motionless.
Yes.
And sometimes it can be a hard place to be when that bar is a little bit bouncy because you're waiting for it to stop. And you might see it a little bit before it fully stops. It's a hard spot.
And the chief referee is also in charge of giving the rack command when the lift is a failure on strength as well.
Yes.
So that's another line that they have to walk.
Yeah. This is Gavin, 107.5 kilos. Really hoping he can find extra gear here. Just too heavy on the day.
Yeah, it's just not going to be there. Still has a third attempt to get it on the board, but it's anything like his first two. It's just going to be too much. It doesn't even move off the chest.
You know, if I'm him or if I'm his coach, I might say, hey, let's scratch this third attempt. Let's bring our opener down on deadlift. Let's bring it down 10 kilos, something we know we can hit. Get it on the board. Let's build a little momentum. Let's try to finish out the day. Because nobody wants to finish out the day not making a single lift.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
John is out, 120 kilos. Oh.
And
I think we missed every command there.
yeah, that was just a straight up gym bench press there.
Oh, you waited for the start command.
That might be just, going back to old habits.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're used to just pumping the reps out in the gym, just you're not in competition mode yet.
This is John, 132.5 kilos, 292 pounds, 7.5 kilos up from his opener. Smooth attempt. 3 white lights. My guess is we'll see a 2.5 kilo jump from him. Try to get a few more kilos on the board, but also not mad if you miss them. $135 kilos getting loaded on the bar for Michael. This is 297 pounds.
Right in that line of 300 pounds.
Yes. Bar is loaded. Here is Michael. Self lift off. First is a little grindy. You know, it looked the exact same to me.
Yeah, I think another 2.5 kilos is warranted
Yeah.
there.
Bars loaded for Jose to 137.5 pounds. Sorry, kilos. 303 pounds.
And if you look on our lifting cast, Gavin Hendricks did scratch his third attempt, so taking a little bit of page out of your book there. Taking the advice.
I hope he takes a second page too. Bring that opener down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to be successful. This is Jose, 303 pounds.
Nice.
Smooth. He is doing a great job showing us what practice does. Having so much confidence on the platform, having so many meets that he's done under his belt already. He just looks confident.
Yeah, lots of experience, lots of years of training. The repetition does everything.
Yeah. So with Gavin scratching, we are down to a very short flight. So these lifters will not have a lot of time between their second attempt and their third attempt. But still looking to execute those thirds. This is Maddox. Coming out for 67.5 kilos, 148 pounds.
It's about how we expected it to move based
Yeah.
off of the second.
3 white lights, about 35 kilos left.
Right.
Taking the bar to 90 kilos. This is taking us to 198 pounds. Very, very close to that 200-pound bench press for Eli.
He's now on the platform with 90 kilos, 190 pounds.
198 pounds for Eli. Third attempt bench press. Looking to go 3 for 3 on the day. Smooth.
Yeah, 3 white lights. I feel like I saw a bit of a heave again.
Yeah,
But
he's toying that line,
Yeah.
hoping the refs don't call it. And they haven't, so.
Next on the platform, we're now loading 125 kilos.
Hard to tell if the bar is going down or if his chest is moving.
yeah. John failing his second attempt, deciding to still go up 5 kilos.
$125 kilos, 275 pounds for John.
And he does the same thing he did on his second where
I mean, he's grinding for it. I'll call it a gym lift, but we didn't wait for command. Foot came up. Did not wait for that rack command.
you gotta wonder what the goal is here.
Butt's coming up.
Feet are coming up.
Yeah. All right, John is up 135 kilos, 297 pounds. I think this is a good call for John.
Yeah, 2.5 safe call. Get everything you can out of the bench here.
Yeah. Ugh. To me, it looked like he touched the bar to his chest a little heavier on that attempt than the other two.
Yeah, the smallest things like that could throw you off in the entire lift, especially in the bench press where
Yeah.
everything has to be so technical.
Michael has opted to go up 5 kilos from his second, from 135 to 140. I saw him telling his coach, load it up after the second, so he must have been feeling pretty good. First and second were a little sticky, but they were the same.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
The 2.5 might have been there.
Maybe not, though.
Maybe not.
All right, Jose is coming out. We are to our last lifter of this flight already. Told you guys it was going to move fast. We are at 142.5 kilos. This is 314 pounds. And for the sake of pound plates, this is 315 pounds.
17.5 kilos above his best bench in a meet prior to this meet.
Woo! That's so impressive.
Just a little bit too much on the day, but Jose's had a pretty solid day so far. PRs on the squat and the bench. Had the heaviest squat of the morning.
Yeah. Heaviest bench press. He's had a great day. He opened above his bench PR in competition. So that's huge. Thank you for joining us for the bench press. There's lots of lessons learned, some really cool heavy lifts, and we will be back in about 10 minutes for deadlift. Welcome back to the 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic, where we are getting ready to get the party started. We are starting out on deadlifts in just a few moments, making sure all of our spotters and loaders are in the right positions. Refs are not in chairs yet, so give us just a few moments to get everyone set. So we'll quickly go over a few things to look out for on deadlift while we have a few moments. So again, the first thing the lifters are waiting for is that bar is loaded. That means the bar has the appropriate weight on it. All of the referees are set. Everything is in the right position. The athlete is ready to enter the platform. At that point, they are no longer allowed to touch anything except for their belt once they're on the platform. And for deadlift, there is no start command. They walk up, they get themselves into position, sumo or conventional, pull the bar, wait for the head ref to then say down. At that point, they may lower the bar to the ground. They may not drop the bar. They may not forcefully place the bar down. Either one of those things will be called a no lift. On the actual lift itself, a few things to look for. We want the bar to move up in a continuous motion. It may stop, it may pause, it may not go back down. We are also looking for the bar to not, or for our thighs to not help the bar up. We are looking for that bar to make it up on its own. 80 kilos, successful for Jessica. Spotters and loaders getting that bar up to 110 kilos, 242 pounds for Karina. Opting for conventional. She has nice close feet. Beautiful deadlift. 3 white lights.
Hold the bar to 120 kilos, 264 pounds for Sadie Taylor.
Sadie is getting the bar loaded to 120 kilos, 264 pounds. So Sadie has registered a total thus far in the meet, has 172.5 kilo total. Looking to add 120 kilos to that right here. Beautiful execution. Textbook deadlift. Up next we have Lynn. She is going to be taking 127.5 kilos, 281 pounds. Bar is loaded. Here she goes. Three white lights. Beautiful deadlift. So I was looking up Lynn in our lifting system here, and it looks like she did have a PR squat today. Her PR deadlift in the system is 140 kilos. So looking to beat that today. This is Eva opening up with 127.5 kilos as well. 281 pounds. Beautiful deadlift. We are starting out deadlifts a whole lot better than we were finishing out bench press. So many white lights, so many successful lifts. Looking to keep that energy going here with Jada. Jada Ann coming out for 130 kilos, 286 pounds.
She's either 18 or 19 years old.
Jada is a 56 kilo lifter opening with 130 kilos on the bar. For a beautiful deadlift. 3 white lights. Add an additional 2.5 kilos to the bar, taking us to 132.5 kilos to bring out Antoya. Cool, calm, and collected. Antoya has a great demeanor on the platform. All business. Taking the bar to 145 kilos. This is 319 pounds for Nicole's opening attempt. Nicole is a 56 kilo lifter, looking to open at almost 3 times body weight. Nicole is a very strong lifter. Woo! Beautiful lift. 3 white lights. All right, final lifter of this flight, Christina, 162.5 kilos. This is 358 pounds. All right, Christina had a successful lift. That means all of our first attempts were successful. We had no missed lifts. Let's keep that going. Jessica coming out for 87.5 kilos, 192 pounds. So you saw a little bit of a kind of rotation, maybe a little up down there. Let's rewatch that and see what we see. We saw that foot come up off the floor. That's what it was. Your feet do have to stay planted. They are not allowed to move while you are deadlifting, as that is what they call it there.
Bars loaded for Corinna, 259 pounds.
Karina coming out for 117.5 kilos. This is 259 pounds. Lift is good. Sadie coming up. 125 kilos, 275 pounds.
Sadie's a conventional puller, so our hands are outside of our feet, I'm going to do your shoulders. And Sadie's lift is good. Typically 2 stances you see in the deadlift. The conventional stance that you see, Sadie just did in the sumo stance. The sumo stance is when the lifter has their feet out wide and their hands are inside of their feet.
Here comes Lynn, 135 kilos. This is 297 pounds. Right now she is just 5 kilos under her best ever deadlift. Let's watch how fast this is and see if we have a chance at a third PR. Oh, sticky on the floor. Good fight. Oh, no good. So it does look like they called for the bar going up and down, which I didn't see. So support on the thighs, I think is what they called there. Those knees did shift under the bar. They got a little bit of support from the thighs. See if we can grind that out for a third. All right, this is Miss Eva, 137.5 kilos, 303 pounds. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Beautiful second attempt.
And the lift is good. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Lower the bar up to 308 pounds.
We are loading the bar up to 140 kilos for Miss Antoya. 308 pounds. Beautiful second attempt. Miss Antoya is also 5 kilos under her best ever with that attempt. Hoping to maybe see if she pulls 147 and a half, gives that personal record an attempt, or an attempt at a personal record. Jada Ann coming out 140 kilos as well. (140 kilos, 308 pounds per second attempt. Heavy but not hard. That's what I like to say. That's exactly how we want to see a second attempt. Heavy but not hard. Still a little bit of strength left in the tank for that third attempt. Nicole coming out for 155 kilos. This will be an attempt at a personal record. So personal best up in competition up till this point is 152 and a half kilos. This is 155. Let's go, Nicole. Beautiful attempt. 3 white lights. If you were watching closely, you saw that there is like a little bit of white substance, white powder on her legs. That is baby powder. That is not chalk. So what they put on their hands is chalk, and that's to help dry up their hands. It's to help with the grip, help with the friction. What baby powder is doing is actually stopping the friction so that the bar can slide up her thighs a little bit easier. All right, Christina now has bars loaded, 172.5 kilos on the bar. This is 380 pounds. This will be a deadlift PR tie, hopefully leaving room for that third attempt to be a PR. Looks good to me. 3 white lights. All right, we are getting ready to close out deadlift with our first flight lifters. Third attempt deadlifts, getting loaded on the bar right now. These are the biggest lifts that we will see from these lifters. These are the final lifts that we will see from these lifters. They are going to give it their all, try to close out that meet with a successful third attempt. Jessica did get called on her second attempt for foot movement. So hopefully we're able to clear that up here, hit this 87.5 kilos successfully, adding 7.5 more kilos to her total. Let's go, Jessica. 87.5 kilos, 192 pounds. Keep those feet still. Two to one, no lift. Again for those feet. Yeah, you saw a little bit of lateral movement on that foot. It did slip a little bit. You are allowed for your toes to lift. Your foot has to be placed back in the same footprint that they started in. But you did see that one foot slide a little bit. That lateral movement is what they called. Karina with 125 kilos on the bar for her third attempt. Last attempt of the day. 275 pounds. It is moving. She is fighting all the way to the top. 3 white lights. Saw a big celebration from her there. Super happy. Sadie coming out 130 kilos on the bar. This is 286 pounds. She currently has a total of 297.5 kilos. If she is successful, this will move her past those 300 kilo total to 302.5. Let's go, Sadie. Keep pulling, keep pulling. Yeah, beautiful. 3 white lights. She has a 302.5 kilo total in the book. All right, Lynn is retaking 135 kilos. I believe this is the right call here. Let her grind. Let her be successful with this 135, 297 pounds. Two to one. Good lift. I did not see any support on the thighs this time. I just saw a nice strong grind. I saw the thighs come in contact, but it did not seem that the knees were under enough to offer support. So it was a good lift. Eva coming out for 147.5 kilos, bringing the height, bringing the energy, screaming a little bit as she enters the platform. Getting herself locked in now, 147.5 kilos, 325 pounds, with room left in the tank. Beautiful day for Miss Eva. 345 kilos for her total. Antoya, 155 kilos loaded on the bar. 330 pounds. She is looking to take a competition best PR here. Again, cool, calm, and collected. Bringing exactly what she needs for this deadlift. Beautiful. Honestly, I think it moved the exact same as her second attempt. Saw a little bit of an excitement there. I think it's the first time we've seen that all day. 150 kilos was successful for Antoya. Looking to keep the bar at 150. And that will bring out Miss Jada Ann. Jada Ann adding 10 kilos to her second attempt from 140 to 150. $150 kilos. She's pulling. Beautiful attempt. I think the whole crowd is behind her. 3 white lights, so much excitement. What a beautiful way to end her day. 3 for 3 on the deadlift. 130, 140, 150. Was able to successfully complete 330 pounds. Getting the bar up to 162.5 kilos, taking us to 358 pounds. That will bring out Nicole. 7.5 kilos up from her second attempt.
Bars loaded for Nicole Costello, 358 pounds.
If she is successful with this, it is looking like she will be adding 10 kilos to her competition best thus far. This is an impressive pull. 358 pounds. Take her total to 377.5 kilos. It's moving. Effort at the top, but it looks to be successful. Let's see what the refs have to say. 2 to 1, good lift. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is bringing out our final lifter for Flight A. We have loaded the bar to 402 pounds for Christina. This is our first deadlift above 400 pounds. Christina has added 10 kilos from her second attempt to her third. 402 pounds, 182.5 kilos, looking to add 10 kilos to her competition best right here. Fight a little bit of lockout, but it looks to be good. 3 white lights. 402 pounds successful for Christina. Absolutely wonderful day for her. All right, we are starting out our second flight of lifters. First attempt deadlifts. Putting the bar to 87.5 kilos, 192 pounds to bring out Samantha.
Bar is loaded for Samantha. 193 pounds for her deadlift opener.
192 pounds all the way to the top. Easy breezy, beautiful. 127.5 kilos, 281 pounds. We'll bring out Kat. Kat has gone 6 for 6 so far today. One of the few lifters to thus far have a perfect day on the board. Not only has she gone 6 for 6, she has had all white lights. Looking to keep that momentum going here with 127.5 kilos, 281 pounds. Three white lights. It looked a little bit like a bar slam to me, so she's got to be careful. One key thing to look for with what we consider to be a bar slam is those elbows bend and bring the bar down. Kat does look like their arms are not all the way straight, even at lockout, so she does have a little bit on her side with that. But just got to be careful. 130 kilos brings out Clarissa. This is 286 pounds. Clarissa has brought the energy all day, having one very, very close call on timing for her squat and was still able to grind out the rep. Hometown hero, Miss Clarissa. 130 kilos. 145 kilos. On the bar, we'll bring out Kyla. Kyla has learned a lot of lessons today. Had a rough squat session. Was able to get 65 kilos on the bench press. Looking to be successful with 145 kilos, 319 pounds. Waiting for those lights. 3 white lights. Maya has 150 kilos loaded on the bar, 330 pounds. Opening attempt. If you blinked, you missed it. I saw our side ref here telling her coach something. I wonder if it was that Maya needs to have socks that come all the way up to her knees. They were a little shy of those knees. So hoping she's able to either, 1, find some extra room in those socks and pull them all the way up, or 2, find a pair from a friend or something else so that we don't get a call on equipment. 150 kilos on the bar, 330 pounds, brings out Daniela, who is also bringing some energy here. Again, blink and you miss it. I think those are the 2 fastest deadlifts we've seen of the day so far. Bar is loaded. 152.5 kilos, 336 pounds. Yeah, blink and you miss it again. Absolutely beautiful opening attempt deadlifts from these ladies.
336 for Santara.
152.5 kilos on the bar for Santara. Also had a little bit of a rough day. Lots of lessons learned, but looking to keep some momentum going here from the bench press. We were successful with 70 kilos on bench, looking to add 152.5 kilos to that right now. Saw a little bit of foot movement. Wasn't sure if it was just in place. It must have been 3 white lights. Again, all successful lifts for our ladies on these first attempt deadlifts. Looking ahead, I do see some pretty large jumps from some of our ladies, so we'll see what happens. Interested to watch the rest of this deadlift session unfold. Samantha is jumping from 87.5 kilos to 100 kilos. We are adding 28 pounds to our deadlift here. First attempt was really easy, so not all that surprised. Looks good to me. 3 white lights. Clarissa going up to 140 kilos. Clarissa coming out for 140, competition best at 142.5. So likely offer some resistance, hoping to leave a little room in the tank to give it a good attempt at a competition PR today. 140 kilos, 308 pounds. Three white lights. Beautiful attempt. Adding an additional 2.5 kilos to the bar to 142.5 will bring out Kat, 315 pounds. They've opted to go up 15 kilos. Good lift for Kat.
Moving on to Kyla Estelle with 330 pounds. After Kyla will have Santara. After Santara will be Sade.
All right, Miss Kyla is coming up for 150 kilos. This is 330 pounds. She's been successful with 147.5 kilos in the past. And successfully adds 2.5 more kilos to that. 150 kilos was successful for Miss Kyla.
Pull the bar to 352 pounds for Santara.
Bar is loaded for Santara. 160 kilos, 352.8 pounds. Gone up 7.5 kilos from her opener. Again, a little sticky at the top, but seems smooth. Got a little aggressive on that put down, but 3 white lights. Lift is good.
363 pounds for Sade. After Sade will be Daniela. After Daniela will be Maya. Bar is loaded.
All right, bar is loaded. 165 kilos, 363 pounds. Second attempt, and she just took a 15-kilo competition best PR. That is crazy, especially saying her last competition was in March of this year. So clearly building a lot of confidence, clearly learning how to harness our strength for Miss Ade. Daniela's on the platform with 170 kilos. This is 374 pounds. She has gone up 20 kilos. That is a no lift. A little bit of up, down, or bar on thighs. I do see those thighs coming through. The knees do look a little soft. Strength is there. We just got to figure out that execution right at that top end.
Load the bar up to 396 pounds for Maya Riley.
All right.
Bars loaded.
Maya has opted to go up 30 kilos. That opener was super silly fast. So not super surprised it's a big jump, but this is a very large jump. We are all the way up to 396 pounds. And I think she could add another 30 kilos. That was absolutely insane. We are coming around to last attempt deadlifts for this Flight B Session 1 of the 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Hosted by Adelante Barbell Club. Samantha has loaded 105 kilos. This is 231 pounds. And I think she definitely had more room in the tank. That was absolutely beautiful. Third attempt deadlift. Successful with 231 pounds. She has a total of 255 kilos. Clarissa looking to add another 5 kilos to her total, taking her to 145 kilos for this deadlift, 319 pounds.
Bars loaded for Clarissa Jackson, 319 pounds for her third attempt.
Bringing the energy like always. Let's go, Clarissa. Five more kilos on her total, 335 kilo total. 9 for 9 day for Miss Clarissa. Mishap on the second attempt squat with her equipment caused her to go all the way down to the buzzer. She was able to get a successful attempt, keeping her total, or keeping her success rate at 9 for 9. 100% success rate for Clarissa today. Beautiful day. Bar is up to 152.5 kilos for Kat. Trying to add 10 kilos to her deadlift here. 152.5 kilos, 336 pounds. Look good to me. 3 white lights. 9 for 9 day for Kat. 377.5 kilo total.
Moving on to Kyla Estelle with 336 pounds.
All right, here comes Kyla. 152.5 kilos. Opted to only go up 2.5 kilos. I think this was the right call. Tends to get a little sticky for her right at lockout. £336, third attempt deadlift for Kyla. waiting for those lights.
And the lift for Kyla is
No good. So she did get called on all 3 cards. She got a call for soft lockout. She got a call for bar path or support on thighs, which I think I did see the support on thighs. And then also for not listening to commands or not maintaining grip on the bar. A lot of different things that could have been called for. But nonetheless, she was successful with 65 kilos on bench and 150 kilos on deadlift. We have upped the bar to 170 kilos for Daniela. She is retaking that second attempt. Good call here. Gotta lock those knees. Did look like there was a little bit of support on the thighs. Let's see what the refs have to say. 3 white lights. Good thing I'm not in the ref chair today.
Time for our final 3 lifters in flight B. Starting out with Sade. Looking at 375 pounds for Sade. After Sade, we'll have Santera.
Sade up next. Also taking 170 kilos. This is 374 pounds. Let's go, Sade. 170 kilos. Okay. I thought that was going to be at least a little hard, and it wasn't. It was absolutely beautiful. 170 kilos successful for her. Competition best prior to today was 150 kilos, so added 20 kilos to that. Sade finished out the day with a 412.5 kilo total. Prior to this, her best total was only 362.5 kilos. That is a very large jump from her competition in March of this year. Santera is up, 175 kilos loaded on the bar. She has opted to go up 15 kilos from her first to her second. Sorry, from her second to her third. 385 pounds. A battle cry at the top. 175 kilos, 3 white lights. What a way to end her deadlift session. She had a rough squat, a rough bench, but a flawless deadlift execution. So much power, so much strength in Santera. I hope she learns how to harness it, listen to the commands, hit the expectations, because she is going to be a strong athlete. Maya has loaded 200 kilos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 440 pounds for her third attempt. She went up 30 kilos from her first to her second, 20 kilos from her second to her third. Second moved so fast. There's very little doubt in my mind that this is a capable deadlift, that Maya is about to deadlift 440 pounds. I'm telling you, that is beautiful. She is a force to be reckoned with. Hear the name now. It is Maya Riley with a successful 200 kilo deadlift. Watch this. Watch how fast it moves. There is no flaw here. Honestly, moved as fast as I would expect an opener to move. So to say that she just pulled 200 kilos. Yes, look at that excitement. Love it. With still probably another 20, 25 kilos in the tank, she is knocking on the door of 500 pounds, which is insane. Woo! My energy is up. I hope y'all's is. We are getting ready to start our final flight of deadlifts. We are putting 120 kilos on the bar, 264 pounds. John, the bar is loaded. We are ready. 264 pounds on the bar. Perfect. I saw nothing wrong. Neither did the judges. 3 white lights.
Bars at 319 pounds for Max Silva.
Bar is loaded for Maddox. 145 kilos, 319 pounds. expected nothing different from Maddox. He has been such a well-executed lifter today, coming just to learn, coming to show us what he's got, but also leave enough in the tank to offer him a lot of room for growth. Beautiful lift from Eli, 170 kilos, 374 pounds.
Eli's over there is good.
John has 182.5 kilos on the bar, 402 pounds. Beautiful. 3 white lights.
Over 441 pounds for Gavin Hendricks.
200 kilos on the bar. 440 pounds for Gavin.
Bar total.
Let's go, Gavin. 200 kilos, 440 pounds. Three white lights. First successful lift of the day. Got one on the board.
On the bar took 452 pounds from Michael.
Michael has 205 kilos on the bar. 452 pounds. Two to one good lift.
Finishing up our opening test, we have Jose.
I do agree. I think the deadlift was a little bit soft,
127.5 kilos.
just meaning that his shoulders were not pulled all the way back or his legs were not locked.
Bar is loaded.
Bar is loaded for Jose. He is coming out for 227.5 kilos, 501 pound opening attempt. This is a big opening deadlift for anyone in the 90 kilo class, and he is a Team 3 lifter. Beautiful deadlift.
Jose, the lift is good. 3 white lights.
Might be the fastest deadlift we've seen in this flight for sure.
John Preston up next. 297 pounds for John. Bar is loaded.
John successful with 135.
And the lift is good for
297 pounds on the board for him. We are loading up the bar to 167.5 kilos. Maddox coming out 167.5 kilos. This is 369 pounds. Whew. A little bit of foot movement, but it's the first time I've seen him work for a lift. Unfortunately, it is a no lift. The strength is there. We just got to keep those feet still. It can be a hard thing to do. 165 kilos is trying to pull you back down to the earth. He's got to figure out how to overcome gravity with 165 kilos and keep his feet still. Bar's getting loaded to 185 kilos for Mr. Eli. John DeLessio there had to rein him in like a caged bull, stick his arm out, not let him go until bar is loaded. Platform is his. 185 kilos, 407 pounds. He's a little bit of a wide stance conventional, but still 3 white lights. It's all preference, it's all where you're strong. As long as you hit the rules and you stay within the rules, the world is your oyster. Bar is loaded for John, 195 kilos, 429 pounds.
430 pounds.
Two to one, good lift for John. Did look like he got called for support on the thighs there a little bit. Knees traveled back under the bar, and kind of the bar traveled up the thighs. The key thing to look for there is those knees traveling back under the bar. The bar is allowed to touch your thighs. It is allowed to slide up your thighs, but it cannot be supported by your thighs. 210 kilos on the bar for Mr. Gavin. 463 pounds. Let's go, Gavin. Add another 10 kilos. Let's go. 463 pounds. Good effort from Gavin. He's had a little bit of a tough day today. So hopefully he's learning lots of lessons. Hopefully he can take this back and not feel defeated by it, but actually use it as motivation to come back and execute well at a meet. Prove to himself that he can do it and that he is capable. Because everyone is capable of competing in the sport of powerlifting. Michael coming out next to 217.5 kilos. Another lifter having a little bit of a rough start, but looking to keep that momentum going here on the deadlift. $479. Let's go, Michael. Oh. Soft lockout, and I think he did beat the down command there. Oh, 2 to 1. Good lift. Oh, he did get the down command. Guess if I scoot over a little bit, I can see the head ref put her arm down. Bar is loaded for Jose. We are up to 245 kilos. This is 540 pounds. This is our heaviest deadlift of the day for this morning session. Stalking the bar like his prey. getting ready to show it who's boss, 540 pounds. See what the refs have to say? 2-1 no lift. Unfortunately, did beat that down command. I honestly think it was just a balance issue, clearly not a strength issue. That bar just got a teeny tiny bit out in front, and or, now that I'm rewatching it, that his left hand did look like it was sliding a little bit. Is it a grip issue? Is it a balance issue? Whatever issue it is, I hope he fixed it on that third. The strength is there today. Jose has been on all day long. All right, here's John looking to close out his day with 145 kilos. These are our final attempt deadlifts. No good. Unfortunately, that deadlift was a little bit soft, and it looks like the bar was supported on his thighs a little bit. Some of those things can be really hard to see, so if you are watching from home and you are not noticing them, that is okay. Keep practicing, keep watching, keep training your eye. This is Maddox, 172.5 kilos, 380 pounds. Needs to keep those feet still as he lifts this bar up off the ground. Beat gravity, keep it going. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal end to his day. Maddox missed one lift on the day, only that second attempt deadlift due to a technical issue, not a strength issue. So he had a fantastic day. Eli is asking for the bar to be loaded to 200 kilos, 441 pounds. Looking to take his total from 417.5 kilos to 432.5 kilos with this pull. Let's go, Eli. 200 kilos. Beautiful. 3 white lights. Eli had a great day, only missing his third attempt squat. 8 for 9 day. There's really only one thing that you can ask for that's better, which is 9 for 9. So absolutely phenomenal execution from him. Great day. We've got John coming up, 207.5 kilos. 12.5 kilos up from his second. 457 pounds. Break the curse here. Let's make a third. See what the refs have to say. Did those knees travel back under the bar? 2-1 no lift. I tend to agree. Let's watch these knees travel back under. They're behind, under. That's where we get the support on the bar, or on the thighs of the bar. Unfortunately, that is a no lift, but it can count for a gym lift if you'd like it to. Gavin coming out to retake 210 kilos. The bar got stuck to the ground on the second. Let's see if we can overcome gravity, Gavin. 210 kilos, 463 pounds. Get those feet set. Once he starts that pull, they're not allowed to move. Just too heavy. Was successful with 200 kilos, which is 440 pounds. All right, we have 2 final pulls for this morning session. We've got Michael coming out for 225 kilos. 496 pounds. This is so close to that 500 pounds. Bars loaded for Michael. Here he comes. 225 kilos, 496 pounds. It's moving. Did The thighs support the bar. 3 white lights. They did not. Successful 225 kilos for Michael. All right, we are getting ready to have our final attempt deadlift for the morning session. Jose has upped the bar to 250 kilos. This is 551 pounds for our Teen 3 lifter. This will take his total from 595 kilos currently to 617.5 kilos. This is a giant total for any 90 kilo lifter, let alone for a Teen 3 lifter, and we are seeing it right here at the 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic. Bar is loaded for Jose. Can he keep his balance at the top? Can he keep his grip? Let's see him execute this right now. I hope the answer to those two questions are yes, because a 550-pound deadlift is giant. Channeling all of his energy into this final lift of the day. He had 230 kilos on squat, 137.5 kilos on bench, and hopefully 250. Bit off a little more than he could chew with that. Was successful with 227.5 kilos on the deadlift. What a wonderful morning session for our 2026 USAPL Adelante Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a second session today. So tune back in just a little bit at 2 o'clock for our second session of lifters.